Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Riggs Rents, Arkansas's rental equipment provider, from aerial lifts to dirt moving machines and everything in between. Our family-owned and operated business takes pride in serving our employees and customers. Riggs Rents, a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackelford.
During the past year, we've been traversing the natural state with our cinematic drone. From lakes and rivers, waterfalls, scenic byways, mountains, swamps, overlooks, and towering rock formations. This unique documentation of all 4 seasons from all 4 corners of the state with an aerial cinematic perspective will give you, the viewer, an Arkansas adventure like never before.
Welcome to War Memorial Stadium. It is the 5A state championship game. Whitehall Bulldogs and the Pulaski Academy Bruins. Hello, everybody. I'm Wes Moore, joined by Bobby Swafford in the booth. And it is PA again for the 8th straight year in the state championship game, Bobby. But this year, a new opponent. And Whitehall, and they haven't been here since 1987.
You got the tale of 2 tapes, the 8th straight season that Pulaski Academy has been here, but you said it there, the first time in, almost 30 years for Whitehall. If I got a chance with Bobby Bolden, who takes over the 3rd different team as a head coach he's brought to the state finals. Only 2 coaches have ever done that, and he's one of them. Gus Malzahn's the other in the state of Arkansas. So these 2 teams played each other in the regular season. It was tied at halftime. I'm expecting a good one.
Very good game the first time around. It was 21-21 at the half. Second half opened up with PA kicking off. They get an onside kick, scored a touchdown, and it kind of went downhill from there for Whitehall, and PA outscored them by 35 in the second half. And any coach, any player that was in that game, they know it was a much closer game than the 35 points indicated. So I expect a really good one tonight. And you hit on Coach Bolding. This guy's done it at Stuttgart. He did it at Pine Bluff, and now he's doing it at Whitehall in just his 3rd year. And this is an incredible class from Whitehall. When he got there, they were all sophomores, and they played. And now they're seniors, 22 seniors playing their last game. And these kids have grown up in his system, and he's very proud of what these guys have done.
You mentioned that it got away from them at halftime the first time they played at Pulaski Academy this year. That's the key when you're playing PA. You got to be able to stay in the game, weather the storm. But number 6, Joe Hyman for Pulaski Academy, is a big reason why teams can't weather the storm, because he can do it running the football. He can do it catching the football out of the backfield. They'll line him up at receiver. You're talking about an athlete who's committed to Northwestern, 1,500 yards rushing, 27 touchdowns, 840 yards receiving, 11 more scores, 38 touchdowns for a non-quarterback or a non-traditional running back. It's rare to see, Wes, and he is a dynamic football player as you're going to see in Arkansas.
Last week in the semifinals against Greenbrier, Joe Hyman had over 350 yards from offense, from playing, either catching it or from running it. Over 250 rushing and over 100 yards receiving. And they needed every bit of it against Greenbrier, a 10-point victory for Pulaski Academy. On the other side, for Whitehall, you got to keep an eye on their quarterback, Matthew Martinez. This kid, I'll tell you more about him, but I'm a fan. I like this Martinez kid.
Yeah, he can do it with his arms. This is a run-first offense. Bobby Bolden's always been about running the football, but the touchdown-to-interception ratio is something that any coach would dream to have. 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions this season. Anytime you go 7-1 in those kind of stats, you're going to put yourself in position to win a lot of football games, and he's a big reason why they're here in Little Rock.
Martinez, when he was a freshman in high school, his mother passed away. And then as a sophomore, his dad passed away. Junior year, he hurt his shoulder, had to have surgery. And now as a senior, he is leading this offense. And just talk about the character of this young man, being raised by his aunt right now. But he's been through a lot, and a football game is just a fun game for him.
Resiliency is the only word that you can describe the quarterback, Matt Martinez, for Whitehall. And those are the stories that you love to see come to this point, because he's been through so much. It's been easy for him to quit, give up football, focus on other things in life. But he stuck with it. His team stuck with him, and they gutted it here. And now they got a chance to end with the state championship.
That's when a team comes in hand right there.
Absolutely.
They needed him. He needed them. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll meet the third member of our crew. Stick around. We're about 4 minutes away from kickoff of the 5A state championship game. You are watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month on Arkansas PBS.
Join us for 20 years of Christmas with the Tabernacle Choir.
Join us and the students and faculty of Belmont University's School of Music
as we celebrate Christmas at Belmont.
Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
Only on Arkansas PBS.
Okay, Frisbee, let's remember, it's 1 bark for true and no barks for false. Arkansas PBS is Arkansas's largest classroom.
Bark!
Frisbee didn't eat my slippers. Oh, Frisbee, how could you?
No, I'm sorry, Miss House. I was gonna tell you, but it slipped my mind.
Please don't let it slip your mind and donate to Arkansas PBS today.
Bark!
Centennial Bank is committed to you. Since our founding in 1999, we've become one of the nation's most trusted banks by remembering that you come first, by empowering our communities to reach their highest potential through our dedication to local charity, education, and exceptional service, because we are proud to call Arkansas home. Banking with you in mind. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Back at the 5A state championship game, Pulaski Academy and Whitehall getting ready to kick this thing off. There you see the coin toss. Look like PA is going to receive, and we'll see the Bruins on offense first. That's a good look at the quarterback, Charlie Pfizer for Pulaski Academy. Let's meet the third member of our crew. Kyle Sutherland is down on the sideline. Kyle, Bruins get the ball first. You ready for some offense?
Absolutely, guys. We saw that in the first matchup between these two teams in Week 6. As you mentioned, it didn't go so well for Whitehall. They're going to have to definitely play keep away to keep the ball out of Pfizer and Hyman's hands, but also they're going to have to score as well. And so Bobby Bolding talked about in that game that once they went into halftime, they knew that they were in trouble because he had worked them a little bit too hard after the Little Rock Christian game. But you know that he's going to learn from that, and it's going to be a ground and pound type game for them.
Talked with Coach Bolding this week, and I have a ton of respect for Coach Bolding. As you mentioned, you know, he and Gus Malzahn, the only ones, here come the Bulldogs onto the field, only ones to bring 3 different teams to the state championships. And that tells you all you need to know, that you're that successful, that you can go to 3 different places and take 3 different teams to the state championship game. But he had a meeting with the parents as soon as the semifinal game with Little Rock Christian was over. He addressed the team. He pulled all the parents into the field house. He said, you treat this week just like any other week. We're not celebrating this week. We'll celebrate every day next week. This week is all about regular business. You make them go to school every day. You let them hang out with their girlfriend. Whatever they do, every week you keep doing it. We're not treating this week any different.
Yeah, that's exactly how you have to treat this game. And playing an opponent that you're familiar with, and it's a team in Pulaski Academy that you played in the regular season, is going to help that, because you don't have to prepare for a team that you haven't played in a decade, someone you haven't seen on film all season long. So trying to make it as normal as possible is one thing. Being able to do it and playing here at War Memorial Stadium is another, because because PA's used to playing here. Whitehall, this is their first trip here to the capital city, at least to play in this stadium. But how do they handle that first initial wave? We see it every time. Anytime you're playing in a state championship game, nerves are going to be there. How do these teams handle the nerves? How do they handle the spotlight? How do they handle the stage, especially once you get punched in the mouth and give it up an early score?
Good look at the coaches. You saw Bobby Bolding for Whitehall a few minutes ago. Let's look at some of the staff. There's Anthony Lucas walking into picture. His first state championship game as a head coach. He's been here plenty of times, obviously, as an assistant coach for Pulaski Academy, but had Coach Lucas on the sportscast earlier today, and he told me, he's like, look, I'm a little nervous. There's your kickoff. The 5A game is underway. Pulaski Academy is going to let that go into the end zone, and they'll take over. First down and 10.
Talking with Coach Lucas earlier this week, he said this group is special. This group of seniors for PA is special to him because his first head coaching job was of the 7th grade team at PA when his seniors this year were in the 7th grade. So they've seen it all the way up to this point. They're used to winning, and now he's got a chance to put his stamp on the program after obviously we all know what Kevin Kelly has got the huge stamp on his program as well.
Yeah, he said that he wants to win this game, not for himself, but for them, those 7th graders that are now seniors. PA starts with Joe Hyman back there next to Charlie Pfizer. It's one of the PA plays. You don't know where they're going to snap the ball, but it goes to Hyman. And you see right away the explosiveness from Joe Hyman. Hits the corner across the 50, down to the 42-yard line.
Everybody knows that number 6 is going to get his hands on the football more times than not. You got to find unique ways to get him the football, just a direct snap. He fakes the handoff to the quarterback, and you see how electric he is once he gets an open space. And Whitehall does a nice job to track him out and get him out of bounds to prevent the score on the first play.
First down and 10 at the 42-yard line. Fake it to Hyman. Pfizer. Nowhere to go. Bulldogs defense swarms and brings him down right at the line of scrimmage.
A great job by Takalin Walker to kind of spy the quarterback there, kept his eyes on Pfizer and tracked him down and dropped him right at the line of scrimmage.
Hyman's first carry went for 38 yards. Nothing on that one. Got Hyman back there looking like he's going to take the direct snap. He does. He fakes the handoff. Hyman up the middle. Hyman to the 20, trying to split the safeties. They bring him down inside the 10.
They pull the right guard, kind of an inside trap play, and a great job there by the front 5 for Pulaski Academy to set the tone. You can see the pull there, the kick out, and it's just a wide open lane running up the middle, and first and goal for the Bruins.
Hyman runs into a defender. He's inside the 5, and the Bulldogs bring him down at the 4. Not much there that time. Hyman with his third carry of the game. The second carry went for 36 yards, so he's got a 38-yard run and a 36-yard run.
You got to settle in if you're Whitehall. They're hitting you with the haymakers early on as PA. You got to find a way to gut down here and try to hold it to a fourth down attempt. We know the PA doesn't kick it very often.
Pfizer takes it, fakes, he hands it off. That's the other running back. Kenny Jordan in for Joe Hyman. Jordan gets it down to about the 1.5.
We know that Whitehall is one of the top scoring defenses in all of football in Arkansas, giving up just 13 points per game. They're being tested early.
PA empties the backfield. Pfizer with it. He's going to take it, and Pfizer gets in for the first touchdown of the game. Bruins on the board with 10 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first quarter.
It's just a great start for Pulaski Academy. You lean on your workhorse, Joe Hyman, and then you let the quarterback, or maybe teams aren't expecting him to run the football, just the quarterback keeper right up the gut. Now they're going for 2 to try to take an 8-point lead.
Pfizer spreads it out. He's by himself in the shotgun, looks over at the coaches on the sideline. Offensive coordinators, Adam Thrash for the Bruins. He signals in the play. Pfizer rolls to his right. Back across the middle, wide open. 2-point conversion's good. Bruins started off bang, bang, bang. 8 points. Last thing the Bulldogs wanted to see. We are just getting started. This is the Centennial State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
You're back. It's good to have you home, James.
The best practice in Glasgow. They've offered me a job, but to work out if there's something here worth staying for.
Oh, someone?
Helen.
I'd like to have danced with you again.
If your toes could take it.
Tristan!
Why don't you try standing up to him?
Have you met my brother? No, I'm always open to new ideas.
I need to talk to you about Glasgow.
You belong here. This is your home.
This month in Passport on the PBS video app.
I'm on a journey to find holiday traditions that speak to me and my family.
This is a celebration of life.
I'm Rick Steves. Join me. We'll see what 17th century financiers did with their mega riches.
Don't slap it. What did it do to you?
Join Bridget, Julia, and the rest of the America's Test Kitchen gang.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS video app.
Arkansas PBS counts on financial contributions from viewers to help keep these great programs coming. Please consider donation.
Pfizer runs it in for the touchdown. Pfizer two-point conversion to Charlie Barker, and the Bruins first drive right down the field. And it's 8-0. The big player on that drive, of course, was Joe Hyman. Hyman with 3 carries, and he's already over, 75 yards. Bruins pooch it. And this one, they had a successful try against Whitehall in the first game with that little pooch kick. That time couldn't find that open area. Maybe the Bulldogs were looking for it after experiencing it one time. And you're going to see PA try several different things on the odd side. It's not always the traditional onside kick. They'll try several different things. They got one where they all line up like they're in the huddle, and they break the huddle, and they just all run and kick it right then. And then sometimes they'll fake it and stop and then reline up and try a different onside kick.
They've got to have 10 or 15 different variations. When you do it every time, you've got to have a little variety, and otherwise teams will figure you out. Now, if you're Whitehall, you're going to be completely different than what PA did. PA spread it out and got the ball to the playmaker. You're Whitehall, you want to grind this up and lean on your running backs and your quarterback to move the chains and keep the clock moving.
Martinez hands it off to his running back. That's Zaire Green. Whitehall has thunder and lightning. That's what Coach Bolding calls his two backs. Zaire Green, number 7. We just saw him. He's the fast, the quick little back. And then we're going to see Duran Kane. He's number 8. Coach Bolding called him Thunder. And you can see Kane's got the 14 touchdowns. He's more of that goal line back where Green's got 6. So if Green's going to score, it's probably going to be more of a longer run.
Yeah, but you're talking almost 1,600 yards between the two of them. They're dynamic. They find ways to get the holes, and you got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line for making those seams.
When you throw in Martinez, he runs it too. He's got over 700 yards rushing. So those 3 guys tote the rock a lot. Got a flag down on the play. He threw it towards Whitehall's side of the field. Looks like it's going to be illegal procedure. They're going to have to push them back after a successful second down play for Whitehall.
Illegal formation, offense, 5 men in the backfield, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
As quickly as that flag came out as soon as the ball was snapped, you knew that it was going to be an infraction as far as the lineup, and both the side judges saw it. They both threw flags as soon as it came out.
Coach Bolding's wanting to talk to him because he doesn't know why. He doesn't understand what was wrong. He walked out onto the field, had his arms up in the air, like what's going on here?
I think one of the receivers wasn't lined up properly. That's the one thing you can't afford to do if you're Whitehall. You can't get behind the sticks. You're a ground and pound team. You've got to be moving forward.
2nd and 14. Bulldogs with it on the 23. This is their opening drive. Martinez to pass. That's a completion. Good move. Breaks 2 tackles across the 40. Picks up the first down. Stephen Weston for the Bulldogs with the first down.
His 26th catch of the year, averages about 13 yards per reception this year. That time he gets plenty more than that, gets a first down, and a big first down, keeps the offense on the field, and maybe you get a little momentum going if you're Whitehall. 21 yards on the pitch and catch there.
Breaking 2 tackles, that's one thing that Coach Lucas and the defensive coordinators don't like to see. You let him complete the pass, make the tackle right there, and it's not that big of a gain. 1st and 10 now from the 44-yard line. Martinez gets everyone set. You'll run it with Green. Green gets it across the 45, just 2 yards on the play.
We talked about Green and Kane, the thunder and lightning, but Martinez is no slouch for carrying the football this year either. 739 yards, 9 touchdowns. So those option read plays like the one we just saw is going to hold those defensive ends, and eventually that 3 yards is going to turn into 5 and 6, and they're going to have to start crashing in, and that's when the quarterback pulls it and hits a big play on the outside.
Martinez brings them to the line. 2nd and 8. Using that play clock. Whitehall not in any hurry.
They're just bleeding it down every snap.
Green has it, and Green has room to run. Green splits the defenders and finally brought down inside the 30-yard line. PA's defense, Hunt Harrison on the tackle. But that's another first down for Whitehall.
That's a great job up front. And as we'll take a look at the replays, a little counter play. You pull, you swab the hole, and a great move in the hole by Green. A little stutter step and jukes to the outside and turns a good game into a big one.
Another missed tackle there on the Bruins there, right at the close to the line of scrimmage.
27 yards on that tote for Green.
Martinez back to throw. He's got a receiver wide open right across the middle. Another broken tackle or a missed tackle. We're a Bruins fan. Pick up a 9. Not quite the first down, but he's second and very short for the Bulldogs.
Carson Terrell there just found a hole in the zone, sat down, and Martinez hit him.
See Bolding right there. Coach Bolding's their offensive coordinator. He's calling plays for the first time ever. Coach Bolding is a defensive guy. I mean, he takes a lot of pride in his defense. This year, his offensive coordinator left right before the season, and he was left with the duty. So Coach Bolding's calling the plays.
He's had a successful career, but he may be thinking back, why didn't I call plays my entire career?
Martinez back to throw. He's going to throw it back to the wide receiver. It's caught. Breaks another tackle and gets into the end zone. Bulldogs respond.
Excellent play design there. You get the flow going to the right side, kind of a throwback screen. And initially, I believe it was Walker who broke the first tackle. The defender for PA couldn't make that first initial contact, and he gets down the sideline. And a great job right here by the receiver to kind of throw his hands up, didn't get the block in the back, just shielded off the defender, and Whitehall's in the end zone.
TK Walker gets the first touchdown on the board for the Bulldogs. They'll try the extra point. They'll get them within a point. Good snap, good hold. Good kick. There you go. Bulldogs respond. Just what they needed to do, really what they had to do. We got an 8-7 game, and we're not even halfway through the first quarter.
You mentioned it right there, Wes. That's what they had to do, because what PA does to a lot of teams is they overwhelm you early on. You've got to be able to respond, weather that early storm, and be able to get back and go blow for blow with them. And that's exactly what Whitehall did. Last week against Little Rock Christian in the semifinals, Whitehall fell down 14-0 early. I believe it was in the first quarter and had to slug their way back for a 24-14 victory. So falling behind, not going to rattle these Bulldogs, but you got to make sure that you stay within striking distance. You can't fall down 2 or 3 scores to a team as good as Pulaski Academy.
Kyler Barnes will kick off for the Bulldogs. His extra point was good, and that makes it 8-7. TK Walker with the touchdown for the Bulldogs. Green, 3 carries, 32 yards. Martinez was a perfect 3 for 3 for 46 yards and that touchdown. There's a kickoff, good boot. It's going to send PA deep. They're going to just let it go into the end zone. So good leg from Kyler Barnes. That's 2 touchbacks for him.
Celebrate game day under the arches. Have access to tons of benefits through our rewards program. And it's available today on the McDonald's app. We're loving it.
Well, for the second straight drive, the Bruins will start their drive at the 20-yard line after touchbacks. They marched down 80 yards last time they had the ball.
All on the ground.
Did not realize that. How about that? I think Pfizer scrambled one time, but they're going to stay on the ground. They're going to stay with Hyman. This time he takes a lick. Picks up about 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, nice job there by Whitehall to play downhill. Hyman still picks up 3 yards, but he'll certainly take that on first down. Starting to settle in. You see the counter there, pull the guard and tackle from the backside, and Whitehall does a nice job filling the hole to prevent a big gain.
Braylon Johnson was the one who put a nice lick on Hyman. Hyman comes in motion. They fake the pitch to him. You see the Bulldog defense just rush to Hyman. That leaves the receiver open, but Pfizer could not get it to Jalen Mckinney. I think he had him open, but the pressure got to him, and he just didn't have enough time to throw it to Jalen.
He was backpedaling, maybe even falling back a step or two, and couldn't get enough on that. Gray Shanner was right in his face. The senior linebacker for Whitehall in Pfizer's face forces the first incomplete pass of tonight's game.
Empty backfield, 3 receivers to Pfizer's left, 2 to his right. 3rd and about 8. Pfizer's going to keep it, go right up the middle. He's short of the first down, picks up about 4 more yards, so it'll be 4th and 2.
He only picks up 4 there, Wes, but I think that was a good play call because Whitehall's really spreading it out. They've got 4. On the last play, they only had 4 players in the box. A light box equals run about 90% of the time.
Heavy box here. Hyman gets it. He's not going to get the first down. Hyman is short, knocked down. Whitehall takes over inside the 30.
What a big stand there by Whitehall. That time they stacked the box. They were going to bring pressure, whether they handed it to Hyman or he kept the football. And, plenty of white shirts just surrounding it. They're coming from the outside, coming from the middle. And you got to give credit first to those defensive linemen because the line of scrimmage moved backwards as soon as that ball was snapped.
3 Whitehall defenders met Joe Hyman right at the line of scrimmage or in the backfield. He had no shot. And so Whitehall will take over. You nailed it. They had the box stacked that time. I was looking at the receivers.
7 in the box.
One-on-one with 4 different receivers out there. And I'm sure that's something that the Bruins will look at. And Adam Thrash may throw it on 4th and short.
That's just good scouting by the Whitehall defensive unit. You know they probably run more times than not in that situation. I think the ball's out.
Martinez fumbles and the Bruins recover. The Bruins are pointing like they have it. They're trying to get to the bottom of the pile, and the Bruins do have it. You see the Bruins come out with the ball. Huge turnover for Pulaski Academy.
Reed Terry came out of the pile with it. 6'3", 205-pound senior defensive lineman. Number 13 came out of the pile for it. And that big stop for Whitehall absolutely negated to the very next play as your offense gives it right back to PA.
Talk about a momentum changer right there. That Bulldogs side was going crazy. And if you look at, we'll get a good camera shot. There are a lot of people from Whitehall here. They've waited a long time to get back to War Memorial Stadium, and they are here. All right, Pfizer on 1st down. Pfizer all the time to throw. Now he finds somebody. He's going deep. Tried to get it to, I thought he was trying to go to Barker, but he may have been going to his other receiver, McKinley.
That was just
McKinney.
Great coverage. I mean, Pfizer had all day. He's standing in a clean pocket, and there's not a single receiver open. I'm looking top of the field. It's closer to us, deep, shallow, did not matter. A great job by Whitehall. Just bracketed the receivers for PA and forced that incompletion.
2nd and 10. Ball's on the 29. See Pfizer all alone in the backfield.
Their light box. 5 defenders in the box for Whitehall.
Receiver comes in motion, but he's going down the seam. He had Joe Hyman, but threw it right behind Joe. Is that 5 or 6? That's 5. That's Jalen McKinney.
Yeah, got the look that he wanted, did Pfizer, and you're exactly right, Wes. If he hits him in stride, that's a 79 or 71-yard touchdown, but just behind his intended receiver, and Whitehall survives a narrow window there.
McKinney was running right down the seam, and he was wide open. Pfizer makes that throw 9 out of 10 times. 3rd down, 3rd and 10. Rolling to his left, looking, nothing there, and he just throws it away. Throws it away, incomplete pass. That'll bring up 4th and 10.
What a great job by Whitehall. As soon as Pfizer rolled to his left, and a flag came down late there, but as soon as he left the pocket, you saw 2 or 3 Whitehall defenders just shadow with him and go guns blazing for Pfizer. And we'll have to see what the call is. So he threw the football late. I don't think it was a late hit, unless it happened behind the play. That looked pretty clean to me, but we'll have to wait for the call.
Could it be intentional grounding? Did it maybe not get? Yeah, he's picking it up. Okay.
So he indicated the ball was tipped, so I wonder if they were going to call pass interference, but if the ball's tipped there at the line of scrimmage, that would automatically negate the call. But the drive's not over. As we know, PA doesn't punt it. So one more play for Whitehall. Got to stand strong.
4th and 10. Pfizer's got 1 back in the backfield with him. Looks like that's Hyman. Rolls, has a receiver at the sideline. He picks up the 1st down. Charlie Barker with it, just a nice little out route. He runs the route about 14, 13 yards and had a little bit of cushion on him and just easy pitch and catch.
Yeah, as a defensive back, you've got to know where the sticks are, know the moment. You know that they're going to run at least an 11-yard route on 4th and 10. And he got beyond the sticks and made the play.
Hyman breaks 1 tackle, breaks another, picks up 8 yards on the play. PA finding a little success there with the direct snap to Joe Hyman.
Just getting the ball to Hyman as quickly as possible. He's averaging well over 10 yards a carry here in this first quarter.
Hyman already now with 79 yards rushing. Fake it to Hyman. Pfizer under pressure. He breaks a tackle, rolling to his right. Now under pressure again, just gets rid of it.
We might be able to find out from Coach Boulding after the game, but right now it looks like the game plan defensively, if Pfizer rolls out, they're immediately sending a linebacker right at the quarterback.
I was told by before the game by some of the Whitehall faithful that they were going to come after Pfizer. They weren't going to let him sit in the pocket. Hyman with it, up the middle, still fighting. Pile moves a little bit, but he's going to be close. He may have the first down.
And needed about a yard and 3/4 of a yard. It looks like he might have got there, and they're going to give it to him.
Move the chains. Bruins keep the drive going. Under 4 minutes to go now here in the first quarter. PA's first drive ended up in a touchdown, 2-point conversion. Whitehall responded with a touchdown. And then PA was stopped in downs, got the ball back on a turnover, and that's where we are now. PA's third drive of the game. Pfizer's going to keep it. He runs up the middle, has room to run. Across the 30, tripped up right around the 26-yard line.
Yeah, what you're going to see, Wes, and I keep mentioning the number of players in the box for Whitehall. They're spreading their defense to get as many bodies out in space against those receivers as possible, and that's leaving just 3 down linemen and maybe 1 linebacker to account for the quarterback. And that time, Pfizer able to take advantage and breaks off the big run right up the middle.
Hand off to Kenny Jordan. Jordan to the left side. He breaks a tackle, spins across the 25 to the 23-yard line.
It's a great job to make a play in space for Whitehall. Limit that to just a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Kenny Jordan gives Joe Hyman a spell, a little bit of a break. Sometimes they'll play them both at the same time. Pfizer alone in the backfield. He's got 5 receivers out, 3 to his left, 2 to his right.
So you can see it right there. That's a good shot at it, Wes. Just 1 linebacker in the box, so 5 linemen, 4 defensive players for Whitehall.
Pfizer looking deep, goes towards the corner of the end zone. Some contact, but it was incidental. PA fans were wanting a flag, but I had a pretty good look at that. And as the receiver went up and was looking for the ball, that was Tyson McCarroll. He just kind of bumped into the cornerback.
Incidental contact there. I think it's a good no call. The ball was thrown almost all the way out of the back of the end zone. I'm not sure he could have tracked that one down without the contact there either way.
Tyson's a big receiver, but I don't think he'd have been big enough to catch that. Pfizer across the middle has his receiver for a first down. That was this big tight end. They call him a wide receiver. That's John Mark Charette. He might be the next big-time Pulaski Academy tight end, following in the Henry's footsteps. Hudson and Hunter.
6'2", 200-pound sophomore, does a nice job, uses his body to shield off that defensive back. He knows he's going to take the hit, makes the play.
Bruins 1st and 10, ball on the 14. Pfizer hands it off to Hyman. Hyman breaks 1 tackle. Hyman stretches across the 5, about the 4, giving 5 yards on the play.
Just how hard Hyman runs has been the one thing that's impressed me the most the last couple years watching him in Little Rock. Just listed at 5'11", 185. That might be a little generous, to be honest, what it looks like up here. But he is not going to back down from anybody on any defense that he faces.
2nd and 5. Pfizer hands it to Hyman, but the play is blown dead.
Snap. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
You see what airing on this holiday season on Arkansas PBS? All you've got to do is download a schedule. Just go to myarpbs.org/schedule.
See what offensive coordinator Adam Thrash and Anthony Lucas here have for the Bruins. 5-yard penalty moves it back to 2nd and 10. Ball just inside the 15. Fake it to Hyman. Pfizer looked like he was going to throw it. Now he's scrambling, gets rid of it. Just out of the reach of John Mark Charette.
You know, they're not getting there, Wes. You know, when they bring that extra pressure, when Pfizer rolls out, but what that does is it's not allowing the PA quarterback to set his feet. He's having to throw the football on the run, and he's been off the mark a few times as well. Whitehall defender is slow to get up.
It's Kelton Thomas, a big defensive lineman for the Bulldogs. We've seen them with a 3-man front, maybe a 4-man front at times. Thomas is up, and he's walking it off. Looks like he's going to be okay. We'll see Thomas back in there. 3rd and 10 now.
No, it's still here in the first quarter. This could be a big 2-down sequence here for the Whitehall defense and for the PA offense. You know, they don't get shut down on back-to-back possessions many times. If Whitehall could get that stop, get that confidence, get the momentum going back their direction after they turned it over the last time they had the football.
PA's going to huddle, take a picture of this. Yes.
Is that legal at Pulaski Academy?
Hey, huddle up. Break the huddle quickly before anybody could take a picture. Got Hyman next to Pfizer. Bulldogs have 4 defenders down here on the near side on 3 PA receivers. They have a one-on-one coverage to your top with McKinney. Fake it. Pfizer across the middle. Has his receiver, but Whitehall gets a hand in there and knocks it down. I think that was Hyman, wasn't it?
Yep, Hyman was an intended target, but a great job by Braylon Johnson, the defensive back for Whitehall. Got there the exact same time the football does, makes the contact, jars the ball loose, and prevents 6 points from being on the board.
Braylon Johnson saving a touchdown for the Bulldogs. Great play from Braylon.
Bring on the field goal unit.
It's 4th and 10, and Von Seelick is coming in. Seelick hit a kind of the icing field goal last week. Greenbrier scored to make it a 1-possession game late in the game. PA drove down and gave Seelick a chance to ice it with the field goal. He did, and tonight he does it again. Seelick through the uprights. PA takes an 11-7 lead.
Knocks that one home from about 30 yards. You don't think of PA being a team that's going to kick the football much, but 4th and 10 in the red zone. You're limited as far as the real estate you have. I think that's a smart move. Give yourself a 4-point lead.
Every point is precious in a state championship game, and I think that's one thing the Bruins realize. They've had some close playoff games, some closer playoff games from Greenbrier. They won that by 10, and Harrison played them really well 2 weeks before that.
We're so used to seeing them roll through the playoffs, and you mentioned it. They beat Harrison by 15 in the first round. Last week was a 10-point win. Magnolia put up 25 points on them. So they haven't been as dominant as we've seen them in seasons past. They're still very good. They're here for a reason, but maybe not quite as dominant as the PA teams that we've seen over the last decade.
Looks like we may see the helicopter here. They got the ball flat on the ground, kick the end of the ball, and it just starts spinning towards the Bulldogs. And the Bruins get it.
So that time they just the top spin and kind of a baby hop there, but right into the chest of the Whitehall would-be receiver. And you can't corral it. And Pulaski Academy, the record's been well documented. When they recover an onside kick, they are tough to beat. And it's number 1, Tyson McCarroll, who jumps on that loose football.
Johnny on the spot. I mean, he was just coming down the field, and he looked like the Bulldogs had it corralled. I thought it was going to be an easy recovery, but you mentioned it, the spin was too much to handle, and McCarroll jumps on it.
Yeah, if you're Whitehall, you did everything there correctly on the onside kick except for recover the onside kick.
Bruins back with the ball. This is their offense, their game. Fake it to Hyman. They're going to go deep. They got the receiver, but the pressure got to Pfizer, and that's one of those times. PA ran a double move, and they were going to have something deep, but then the pressure came. Pfizer had to put the ball down, tuck it, and run.
They were trying with the pump and go. You mentioned the double move, and a great job by the Whitehall secondary to not bite on it. And eventually a nice play made there by the defensive front to shut him down for a 0-yard gain. Also called a no gain. Or half full or half empty kind of guy.
Pfizer, Hyman rolling left. He throws it, has his receiver. First down. That's John Mark Charette again, his second catch.
I like the idea of moving the pocket there on an intentional rollout for Pulaski Academy. Pfizer knows he's going to be throwing on the run, gets his shoulder square, and a dart to his receiver, and they're moving the sticks.
I like, too, they're running with Hyman, and the whole defense is focused on Hyman, as they should be, and everybody's just sucked up, and then Charette just runs in right behind them in a wide-open area.
That's how a good running back can make a play-action play so much more effective.
Hyman right up the middle, fighting for yards. He's going to get 1. That's it.
You can tell that defensive front has really started to settle in for Whitehall as we're in the final 10 seconds of this first quarter. But they took that initial blow from PA, and now they've settled in nicely.
We'll see if they can get another stop when we come back. That's the end of the first quarter. Pulaski Academy Bruins 11, Whitehall Bulldogs 7. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Riggs Rents, Arkansas's rental equipment provider, from aerial lifts to dirt moving machines and everything in between. Our family-owned and operated business takes pride in serving our employees and customers. Riggs Rents, a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackleford.
Here we go, the energy.
You can experience the action all over again next week. Watch the championship games on Arkansas PBS Sports. Features at youtube.com/Arkansas PBS. Missed the 8-man game last night. You missed a good one.
2nd and 9, first play of the second quarter. Pfizer with Hyman right behind him. Fakes it to Hyman across the middle to Charlie Barker. He's got nothing but green grass. Touchdown, Bruins.
A simple pitch and catch on the slant, Wes, and Barker does the rest. He goes 33 yards for the score, and that's what makes that a spread offense so effective. If you miss a tackle one-on-one in space, odds are it's going to be a big play, and he waltzes into the end zone.
Why is the middle so wide open?
Play action.
Make it to Hyman.
Right.
Everybody thinks Hyman's going to run it up the middle. Linebackers suck up.
And that's all it takes. The linebacker takes one step and gets out of position, able to throw it right over the top of his head for the easy score.
Bruins going for 2, up 17-7. Pfizer in the backfield all alone. Pfizer looking. Time to throw. Throws it across the middle. It's tipped up in the air and intercepted. Can't do anything with it in high school, so just no good. So the score will remain 17-7.
A great job there by Whitehall to shut it down.
We'll take a break quickly. When I say take a break, I mean catch my breath.
Exactly.
Take a break.
7 seconds into the quarter, not really an ideal time to take a media timeout, that's for sure. It's a nice drive there, and the first scoring drive for Pulaski Academy was all on the ground. That time, Charlie Pfizer, the completion percentage, not real high, but 4 of 12 passing, but effective enough.
And it's opening some things up right now is what it's doing. Your running game, they ran the ball to set up the pass. And right now you're getting some one-on-one opportunities, the receivers are, and they're taking advantage of it, whether it's Barker or Charette.
And that was points directly the result of a recovered onside kick. It's hard to remember that, but those chances, that's 7 free points that Pulaski Academy essentially just got.
They're on a little 9-point roll right now. They kicked the field goal, onside kick, score the touchdown, didn't get the 2-point conversion, but they're going to try another onside kick. Ball's down, rolling. This time Whitehall He almost fielded that like a second baseman in Little League. The way you teach, get down on one knee,
stay down
in front of the ball, and if your glove misses it, the ball hits you in the leg, and you still pick it up, and you're fine.
Yeah, Caleb Taylor fielded that one perfectly. They tried that top spin, kind of just hit the top of the ball, and you're hoping for a bad hop or a big hop. And that time Taylor fields it nicely, and Whitehall's got great field position to try to chip into this 10-point deficit.
Okay, Martinez and the Bulldogs will try to respond. You see Coach Bolding, head coach, offensive coordinator, special teams coach, AD. He says he's doing it all right now.
He's wearing a lot of hats while wearing no hat tonight.
Martinez hands it off. Whoa.
Bad snap.
Yeah, high snap and kind of a weird exchange with Kane, but Kane is able to pick up 2 yards.
Might have thrown the timing off of that play just a little bit. And I think that was just supposed to be a direct handoff, and it ended up being a direct snap. Kane just takes the ball out of the air and picks up 2 yards.
Taking a look at Dale Pino. Right, Pino, he's been hurt and back for Pulaski Academy. Came back last week against Greenbrier. Coach Lucas said that was big to get him back, that he had so much to that defensive line. Martinez in the shotgun. Pump. He's going to throw it deep. Bruins corner was right there.
Great play on the football.
Wasn't able to make the play. And the Bulldogs receiver comes up with it. What a grab from Jordan Jackson. I honestly thought the Bruins were going to pick it off.
Yeah, he let that one go, and his receiver wasn't open, but he trusted his playmaker, Jackson, to go up and make a play, and he did exactly that. A great job to adjust to the football that was a little underthrown, and he hauls it in for the big gain up the sideline as he picks up 27 yards.
And you see just Jordan Jackson went up and basically took it away from Bo Miller. Bo thought he had him a pick. And Jackson made it just a fantastic play of high pointing the ball and grabbing it. Martinez to Green. Green breaks one tackle, gets across the 20. It's kind of a theme tonight. There are a lot of broken tackles in this game, or missed tackles, however way you want to look at it. Give credit to the offensive player for breaking a tackle, or the defense, you can blame them for missing a tackle.
Whitehall's a team that's traditionally about 65% run, but so far up to this point, they've been pretty balanced. I think what they're trying to do, Wes, is lighten the box defensively. I think they're trying to throw the football to soften that defense up and maybe create some more running lanes for the rushing attack later on.
You see the Bruins, they're daring them to throw.
They've got 8 in the box right now.
Handed off to Green. Green this time is going to be tackled short of the first down. He falls forward to almost the 15-yard line. It's going to be third and a long one.
Yeah, you're just outnumbered there when you're Whitehall. Pulaski Academy had 8 defenders within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage inside the tackles, and it was 8 on 6 right there, and the numbers are always going to benefit the defense when you've got 2 more defenders than you do blockers.
Bulldogs looking over at the sideline. Once again, they're in no hurry. Play clock's at 15 already. I don't think they have the play in.
Pulaski Academy probably hasn't seen 15 seconds on the play clock when they had the football all season. Whitehall, Coach Bobby Bolding may be a little annoyed if they snap it with more than 15 seconds on the clock.
They have to hurry now. They get it off. The bad snap. The Bruins are all over the Kane, and the Bruins take advantage of a bad snap. Instead of 3rd and 1, you're looking at 4th and about 20.
And Coach Bolding is going to take a timeout, and he is not happy, as those are the type of plays that can absolutely cripple you, especially in a big moment inside the red zone.
Is that going to be a direct snap to the running back?
It's hard to, that's the second errant snap we saw on this drive, and you can see Coach Bolding talking to his troops there. Those are the type of mistakes, what he's saying, that we can't have tonight. We have to, don't have to play perfect. We just can't give away free yardage like that, free possessions, and that's a huge, huge error right there by the Bulldog offense.
I see him talking to his center, Justin Heard. I'm trying to get it straight. Now it's going to be 4th, and I'm going to have to do a little math here.
I got to get all the way down to the 14, so 4th and 20.
Wow. What a bad mistake.
Special thanks to Community Bakery for providing food for our crew and their continued support of Arkansas PBS. It's one of those things, Wes, in the modern day, everybody runs the shotgun, you overlook and you take it for granted, that center quarterback exchange. You think it's simple. On a 3rd and 1, snap it directly to your quarterback, to your running back, whatever the case may be, run forward, you get a first down, but just a few feet one side or the other, and it cost you big time, 19-yard loss there.
Let's see what the Bulldogs do here on 4th and 20. It's too long for a field goal, and I don't think they want to. Maybe they're going to punt. No, they're not going to punt it. They're just going to go for it.
Martinez is going to be under center, receiver to each side, and a wing to each side.
Now the Bruins back out of the box. They're going to. It's a trick play. What did they do? Was that the?
I don't know if that was the fumble Ruski or what, but they blew it dead.
There's a flag down.
Snap infraction, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
I have to take a look at the replay there. Yeah.
See exactly what happened.
So now you think I think that was the fumble. The quarterback never even attempted to take the snap. Maybe roll that back one more time if we've got time for it.
Yeah, we got time.
It's like the punt team's going to come on. Yeah, so he just snapped it and dropped it. And I believe that the wing back on the near side was supposed to pick it up. That's the old school fumble Ruski. And it just didn't work.
He didn't pick it up or wasn't able to pick it up.
Yeah, they called the snap infraction. And those are the type of plays you work on all season, and it just drives you mad as a coach that it gets blown dead because of a penalty.
You work on it and you work on it and use it once, maybe. And when you use it once, the penalty negates it. Bulldogs get the pooch kick, and they're going to down it inside the 20-yard line, be down at the 16. The Bruins don't even attempt to return punts. They really just – sometimes they don't do anything on the punt. They'll just stand there. Sometimes they'll kind of halfway rush the punter just in case it's a bad snap. And with some of the snapping issues, and I don't know if it's the same snapper for the punt. I'm surprised they didn't at least run back there just in case it was a bad snap.
A lot of times, coaches will just take that when they line up the punt, like, hey, we're getting the ball back. We're not going to do anything to screw it up.
Yep. Well, that all started with Kevin Kelly years ago, and he had faith in his offense, and you're exactly right. Why muff a punt and not get the ball? He wants the ball. He wants his offense to run it. That's Hyman, and when you got Hyman, heck yeah, you want the ball, and you don't want to jeopardize anything. Hyman across the 20 before he's popped. That's another play. We've been calling out Braylon Johnson a lot. And Braylon makes the tackle for the Bulldogs.
Still 5 yards, though, and Joe Hyman, it's going to hurt the average a little bit, but you'll take 5 yards on 1st down anytime.
See Braylon right there in the middle of the field. Fake it to Hyman. Pfizer escapes the pressure out of the pocket. He gets to about the 25. I love how he stretched the ball out there, trying to get every yard he can.
Maybe about a yard short. And again, we saw 41 and White bearing down on Gray Shaner. He's been right around that quarterback about every time he rolls out. And he's showing up with bad intentions that time. Pfizer does a nice job of just ducking out of bounds, avoids the contact.
3rd and short. I wonder if this is that play where Pfizer's just going to keep.
Quarterbacks are always wide open. There it is.
I just got that 1st down and much more. Middle of the field just wide open. When I'm smart enough to see it way up here, I know the Bruins coaches are smart enough to see it and call that play.
And that may be an adjustment they're making at the line of scrimmage, but there's nobody in the middle of the field. 3 down linemen and no linebackers right there for Whitehall. That's a simple read by a quarterback, and he runs it right up the middle. As soon as you break that initial wave, there's nobody within 10 yards of him.
A big Max Gorman pulling, looking for somebody to block, but there was nobody for him to block. The middle was wide open. So Pfizer picks up the 1st down, moves the ball across the 40.
If you get a wide shot here, and you're going to see the way at least Whitehall's lined up defensively right now, they have nobody in the middle of the field. 41 right there. Shaner is kind of flirting with it a little bit, and it looks like PA is going to take a timeout.
We'll take a break with them. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about? We need a Christmas tree. A great, big, shiny aluminum Christmas tree. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown. Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
Gather the family for the must-see Christmas classic, A Charlie Brown Christmas. That's Sunday, December 19th at 6:30, only on Arkansas PBS.
Proud dad moment. My daughter's in A Charlie Brown Christmas at the Rep. They opened up tonight downtown at the Rep. She couldn't make the game tonight, but kind of busy. Here's Pfizer back to pass. Looking across the middle. Throwing deep to Hyman. And it's over everybody's head. And that was Braylon Johnson again covering Hyman. Hyman, a legit receiving threat. He can. I've seen him make some outstanding catches in the last 2 seasons.
That's a dangerous throw, though. They had Hyman bracketed, and Pfizer, again, just trusting his playmaker on the outside, launches it deep, but overshoots everybody. But Johnson, the closest player there.
Back to live action. Pfizer rolls out and just throws it away. He was under pressure again.
They're just doing a nice job of disrupting Pfizer. 4 of 14 passing. Very rarely you're going to see a completion percentage for PA that low, because their offense is built on short, quick completions to move the chains and trying to get you out of a rhythm defensively.
3rd and 10. Bulldogs really need a stop here. Down 10 in the second quarter. PA has scored in, 3 straight possessions now? 2, looking for a 3rd straight. Pfizer fakes it to Hyman. Throws it
Great
to the
coverage.
Sideline, and I'll tell you what, I thought it was going to be a completed pass, but the Bulldogs defender came in at the last second and broke it up.
Stephen Weston did a great job breaking on the football. He saw his man, the receiver in front of him, break out, and he broke on it, and he gets his hand in there, the left hand, knocks it away at the right moments and forces a 4th down.
Seen Weston make a nice catch on offense, and now we see him make a nice play on defense.
That closing speed is elite. That's hard to coach. And you either have it or you don't. A great play by Weston.
4th down and 10. Pfizer going to roll to his right. Look for a receiver. He's got a receiver wide open at the 35. 1st down for the Bruins.
Just a high-low concept on that far side, Wes. You're an out about the sticks. They've hit that a couple times, and you hit a corner route coming in right behind him, and the safety can't get over there to make the play. And a great throw, a great catch, and a big-time 1st down for this PA offense.
Charlie Barker moves the sticks. Bruins back with it. You're going to see nice run from the Bruins. 20 to 15, still going. That's Kenny Jordan. Jordan inside the 5 to the 5-yard line. Jordan just kept those legs moving. He's in for Joe Hyman, and you can see why they're so excited about the future for Kenny Jordan.
Yeah, the sophomore did a nice job there of letting the defense kind of break down and dances his way to a big game, and it's 1st and goal for the Bruins.
See Pfizer all alone. See Whitehall's made a little bit of adjustment. Not quite as open. Pfizer's going to run it. He goes up the middle and he scores. It's made a little adjustment, but not enough.
They were still outnumbered, Wes. You're exactly right. They had the 5 offensive linemen. Whitehall, at least that time, kept the linebacker in with his 3-down lineman. It's still 5-on-4. That's essentially fast break basketball right there. You're outnumbering the guy with the football. The guy with the rock scores.
So Pfizer, although his completion percentage not what we're used to seeing, what we are seeing is Pfizer run with the ball, and that was his 9th carry of the game already?
So on the season, he has 45 carries all season long, and now close to double digits already here, and we're just halfway home in the 1st.
Seelick, the snap or the hold was off. Timing was bad. Seelick tried to kick it while he was already standing there and just kicked it in the line drive into the back of somebody. So the extra point is no good, but the Bruins take a 23-7 lead.
Yeah, the holder just couldn't get it down, and he stopped his leg motion in that time, and then he owes number 61 some tacos after the game. Max Gorman takes that one on the back of his arm, and right now it feels fine, but that one's going to hurt tomorrow.
See Coach Lucas in his 1st state championship game as the head coach. Coach's been with PA since these seniors were in the 7th grade. And that was his 1st team to coach. Awful proud of these guys. He said these seniors have worked so hard to become what they are right now, and he wants to send them out the right way. And he said the message all week has been finish.
You know, a lot of times you'll see an assistant not stick around. Doesn't matter what school it is, 2A, 5A, private school, public school. They're not willing to stick around and wait for their opportunity to shine. You got to give Anthony Lucas a lot of credit. He stuck with PA. He believed in the system. He knew eventually at some point he'd be ready to be a head coach. I don't know. I'm not sure even he would have thought it would have become this quickly with Kevin Kelly leaving last year or in the offseason last year, but he's taken the most of his opportunity. Played a pretty big non-conference schedule, some big-time private schools from the region, and he's got PA in position to win another title.
All right, Seelick will try the onside kick. This time a different form of the onside kick, and the Bruins had a chance for it, I thought, but it's going to be recovered by the Bulldogs.
The ball was on the ground for a long time, covered a lot of real estate from the far hash all the way to the near sideline, and nice job by Whitehall, but there was plenty of time for PA to break through, and that's where the credit goes to that front line. The blockers, the designated blockers on the onside kick recovery team, did their job and allowed, again, number 10, Caleb Taylor, to make the play and recover the onside kick.
You mentioned Coach Lucas sticking around. They have a great team there at Pulaski Academy with Adam Thrash as offensive coordinator, and Madison Taylor as defensive coordinator, and Jason White, now the athletic director. They're a team, and Coach Lucas points that out as many times as he can. It takes all of them and that team that he's proud of. Quick pass by Martinez, and a broken tackle makes a big play into a bigger play. First down and much more for the Bulldogs.
A great move there initially by Jordan Jackson, the receiver. He makes the play and kind of steps back just a touch, so left the defender over pursue. Great move there, and picks up extra yardage. The ball came out after he hit the ground, reaching for more yards. That's a big first down for the Bulldogs.
That ball came down when he hit the ground. That's not a fumble. The Bruins jumped on it and thought maybe it was a fumble.
Haven't had to see it yet, Wes, but of course we do have replay here in the state championship game.
I'll tell you, they looked at it. Just because there wasn't a timeout, the replay booth is on it, and they've already looked at it, and they've saw what we saw, and they're not going to stop play. They review all the kind of plays like that. Up in the air, Bulldogs almost come down with it. Double coverage that time on Stephen Weston, but he wasn't able to haul it in.
I like the idea going up top. Whitehall is a team that likes to run the football first, but right now that's the first incomplete pass. 8 rushing attempts, 6 through the air. They've been pretty balanced so far, have the Bulldogs offense.
Second down and 10. Bulldogs have it inside the PA 40. They're at the 36. Martinez with Zaire Green right behind him. Green shifts to his side. Going to give it to Green, and Green's quickly gobbled up and thrown to the ground. The Bruins defense all over that. Mason Schick, the linebacker, just came blitzing through the line. Schick is going to walk on for the Razorbacks next year, and
he read that perfectly. He just unblocked off the edge. And he's in charge of contain there, and the play came right into his lap, and he makes it 6 yards deep in the backfield.
You hear him calling the Hogs? They know Mason's walking on, wants to be a Razorback. Mason was a center last year. Moved from center to linebacker. He wanted to play defense.
That's an athletic offensive lineman.
Coach Lucas said he can't keep Mason Schick out of the weight room. Loves working out, always working on his technique. Martinez rolling left under pressure. He gets rid of it. Got a flag down, probably in the area of holding on the offensive line.
What started as a promising drive and likely to decline this one and result in a punt as Martinez was hit as he let that one go.
Looks like he was motioning for a chop block. Talking to Coach Lucas on the sideline, trying to figure out what they want to do.
Chop block, offense, penalties decline, be 4th down.
Yeah, you're facing a 4th and 16. There's really no point in accepting that penalty if you're PA, and Whitehall going to send the punt unit on. I think one thing, Wes, that's really lost. Everybody talks about Pulaski Academy, of course, Joe Hyman and the quarterbacks that they've had, how good the offense is. The defense is really good, and they're put in a bad situation a lot of times with the onside kicks.
Well, yeah, honestly, it happens all the time. They go for it on 4th down. We saw it earlier. They didn't get the 4th down. It's a fake, and the Bruins are there for it. And once again, it's Schick. Mason Schick was all over it, comes in, The Bulldogs try a fake punt. You normally don't see that against the Bruins because the Bruins don't do anything except stand there.
Yeah, the play was a little slow developing. You can see that he's looking downfield, looking for a target, and Schick, this shuck comes off the blocker. He shucks the would-be protection and makes the easy play in the backfield. Just way too slow of a developing fake punt, and now PA's got the ball near midfield.
They're calling the Hogs once again for Mason. Bruins take over near midfield. Chance to really put their foot down here. See Hyman next to Fisher, or next to Pfizer. Pfizer fakes it, throws it out to McKinney. Makes one move. Can't quite break the tackle quick enough. He picks up the first down. They'll move the chains, but that's one-on-one coverage. That's all the attention they're giving to Joe Hyman. Fake it to Hyman and throw it out to McKinney. One-on-one, makes the catch. If he makes him miss right there, it could be a touchdown.
It's a great job, though, by Weston. Again, we've called his name a bunch as Hyman takes the direct snap.
Absolutely nothing there. The Bulldogs had that strung out. It's going to be hard to do a direct snap to the side because there's so many eyeballs on Joe. If you're going to do it, it's going to have to be a quick hitter right up the middle. We saw PA do that with the direct snap early on the first drive, but that time just so many eyes on Joe Hyman. He's the focus on the defense.
And he has to be. I think the one thing that's really stood out to me, and sure they're down by 16, the speed of this Whitehall defense is impressive.
They'll toss it to Joe. He's coming near side to us, trying to get to the outside, and just nothing there.
It's a prime example of it right there. I mean, they're going step for step. TK Walker is the guy that's going stride for stride with Hyman out of the backfield, and there's just nowhere to go for the future Northwestern running back.
Coach Bolden told me he basically plays 3 defensive linemen and 1 linebacker, and then 7 DBs. Yeah. Now he said, we're fast. And he said, we got 7 guys out there that run a 4.5 or better.
It shows.
And a couple of those DBs playing linebacker. He said, they'll hit you. We play them at linebacker, but they're DBs that can really lay a lick on you. We'll toss it to Hyman again, and Hyman picks up 2.
That's big, but just the closing speed. And sure, it's nice to have big bodies in short yardage situations, but when you're playing a team like PA or Little Rock Christian who spreads it out, you need to have speed at the linebacker spot. And that's why it's paid off for Whitehall, and that's why this team's in the state championship game with an 11-2 record.
3 straight runs from Hyman produces 4 yards, so it's going to be 4th and 6. Bruins now all of a sudden are taking their time, and they kind of work the clock in 3 straight runs here, maybe trying to.
And no, the Whitehall's a methodical offense, and maybe they're thinking, hey, we don't want to leave them 5 minutes on the clock after our drive. That's PA takes another timeout.
Clock management there from Coach Lucas and the Bruins.
That's the game within the game, the chess match between the 2 coaches. And when you're playing a team like Whitehall that likes to ground it out, that's what they've done all season long, you think, okay, they need 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes to go down and score to complete a drive. And while PA, you don't want to leave them 90 seconds.
Smart to milk that clock. Bruins take the timeout. Let's see what they have drawn up on 4th down and 6.
Coming up, it's the Arkansas PBS halftime show with David Bassel. We're going to meet a Rockin' Junior High band director from Hot Springs. We've got an update on the former coach of the team you're watching here, former PA coach Kevin Kelly. And we're going to talk to Trevon Holmes of Wynn and the Yellow Jackets. That's all coming up on the 5A state championship game at the half.
Bruins break the huddle facing 4th and 6. Got a full backfield at least right now with Pfizer, Hyman. Looks like maybe Kenny Jordan over there too.
Hyman's in the slot to the near side of your screen, the bottom side.
A roll right away from Hyman. Looking for Hyman, nothing there. Goes across to McKinney, up, jump ball, and he can't bring it in. Going to Jalen Mckinney, and it looked like he had a step on his defender and had a chance to haul it in.
Yeah, that's just a 50-50 ball. You're trusting your receiver to go up and make a play, but Stephen Weston again, number 4 for Whitehall there to make the play. And knocks it down, and Whitehall comes up with a big defensive stand, and now we'll see what they can do with 2 timeouts and 3:15 remaining here in this first half. See if they can close the gap, because it's important to remember Whitehall's going to receive the opening kickoff in the 3rd quarter. So you get some points here, maybe go for that double dip, and all of a sudden you're right back in the contest.
Good look at McKinney there. Coach Lucas talking to him, and had it in his hands for a brief second, but could not bring it into his chest, secure it, and make the catch. So Whitehall takes over at the 37. You got 3 minutes and 15 seconds to work. PA box just full. Martinez will keep it. Martinez almost gets out of there. He picks up 2.
Just the second carry for the quarterback for Whitehall. He turned to whether there's going to be a play fake or a handoff, and nobody was there behind him, so he has to just try to make the best of nothing there and picks up a couple.
2nd down and 8. Clock running. Whitehall picking up the pace a little bit. They break the huddle, and they're at the line of scrimmage with 20 seconds on the play clock. Martinez with it. Not too big of a hurry. I thought they'd pick up the pace a little bit. I guess they don't want to, in case, get the ball back to the Bruins. That's Green. Green is bottled up. He'll move it a yard to the 40.
This might be a case where you're waiting to see if you pick up that initial first down. So if you move the chains, and that's maybe when you pick up the pace, because you're right, Wes. You don't want to leave too much time for PA to initially or potentially get the football back and go down and score.
Look at it here. It's 3rd down and 7. They don't get the first down here, and they have to punt. PA's going to have about a minute and a half to work with in this offense. A minute and a half is plenty.
Yeah, with the stop, the clock stopping after a first down, you know, one timeout and a minute and a half is plenty to go 80 yards at the high school level.
Martinez, quick pass, has his receiver, but he's hit as soon as he tries to catch it. A good job by the Bruins defender. Looks like Josh Cady. It is Cady. Cady times it perfect.
Yeah, we've been complimentary of the Whitehall defensive backs. Now you got to tip the cap to PA right there. He gets there as soon as the football, and you see that left hand come down to swat the football out of the receiver's hands. That is textbook defensive back play, and that's going to give PA the football back. What we were talking about in the worst case possible for Whitehall, as now PA is going to get the ball decent field position with plenty of time and a timeout to go down and score before intermission.
Cady has 7 interceptions on the year. He didn't get an interception there, but he had a great PBU. And now the Bruins will get the ball back around the 35-yard line. Cady's a state wrestling champ. You know, he's already got a bunch of rings in football.
He's running out of fingers.
And looking for another ring in football tonight. And Coach Lucas said just one tough kid.
Wrestlers are built different. You know, usually the best college linemen or former high school wrestlers, they're just built a little different. They like to get in there and throw people around.
Speaking of wrestlers, I see one of the state's all-time great wrestlers on the PA sideline, Lane Hatcher, who's, you also know him as a quarterback. Former A-State quarterback, announced this week he was entering the transfer portal. Saw Lane before the game, and he's excited about his future. He
torched my UCA Bears, though, this year.
Pfizer with it. He's going deep. Pfizer's got a receiver there, and he makes the catch. Pfizer connects with John Mark Charette. The big receiver, the sophomore, going way down the field and takes it to the 25.
42 yards, and the ball felt like it just hung up in the air forever, but allows Charette to run underneath it, makes the nice fingers catch, and now PA's in business.
Pfizer, plenty of time. He's going to give it to Hyman. Hyman cuts back.
Great job to stay at home.
Yeah. I thought maybe that play had a chance to work because they've been pursuing so well, and they were trying to cut it back. But
Walker was coming from that backside. I don't know if he was coming on a pressure, but either way, he broke down, saw Hyman on the counter play, and made a nice defensive stand.
Good look at TK Walker. Empty backfield for Pfizer. Bunch formation. Pfizer quick out of his hands. He finds his receiver, breaks a tackle, and this time McKinney gets his touchdown.
What a spin move amongst 3 defenders, what it looked like. McKinney just put his foot in the ground, did a little pirouettes, and he's able to stroll into the end zone.
Here's a look at Jalen McKinney's 14th touchdown of the year. Gets hit, spins out of it.
That's a highlight reel type touchdown catch right there for McKinney. And, you know, a bad scenario just got worse for Whitehall. You had a chance to score before the half, score right after the third quarter, and maybe make it a 2-point game instead. Now you're about to go into the half, potentially down by 23.
McKinney with his second reception of the night. Extra point is good. Came into the game with 69 catches, so that's 71 catches on the year for Jalen McKinney. The Bruins increase their lead. It's 30-7.
If you would have told Bobby Bolding, Coach, you're going to hold them to 8 of 20 passing in the first half, he says, I'm taking that every day of the week. But instead, those pass plays have gone for 169 yards, 20 yards per completion, what PA's averaging. And it's those are the big plays you just can't allow. It's the run after the catch. You can handle giving up the pitch and catch. That rack yardage, the run after the catch that you can't have, and turns medium plays into big plays into touchdowns. And PA is getting plenty of those right now.
PA now with 180, 190 something yards on the ground. They've been able to run. Joe Hyman has 106 yards in the first half. Pfizer has 51 yards rushing. And Kenny Jordan, with that big run of 29 yards, now has 35 yards.
361 yards of total offense for Pulaski Academy in the first half here.
You may remember this right here. You're not going to see this very often. PA kicking off deep.
And they jumped off sides. They're not used to doing it.
The timing's thrown off. You don't ever work on this. I'm sure they do. But, yeah, that's a smart play. There's 44 seconds.
Kicking team, 5-yard penalty.
If you don't get the onside kick, then Whitehall only has to go, they've been getting it around the 50-yard line, so about a 50-yard, 45-yard drive. So go ahead and kick it deep and make them drive the entire length of the field.
And it's one of those situations, too, if you see Whitehall line up in a normal kickoff return, maybe do a surprise onside kick. And that's the benefit of having a kicker who maybe can to look at that. Maybe you look at the special teams coach, because this is not a traditional kickoff return. Not going to be a great return for Whitehall, at least you would think, based on the formation.
I'm surprised Whitehall didn't really adjust. He's going to kick it out of bounds, but I thought maybe Whitehall would want to send somebody some more deep and try to return this. They have a great return. We've seen Braylon Johnson playing defensive back. Well, he's got 6 kickoff returns for a touchdown and several in the playoffs. Yeah. He's also got 5 punt returns for a touchdown. But I was telling some of their folks, you're not going to see him returning kicks or returning punts tonight because, well, PA doesn't punt, and then the kickoff is usually always an onside kick.
Yeah, that where when you kick it out of bounds, it's not ideal. And I think Whitehall did a smart job there of declining that penalty, making them kick it again, or at least, accepting the penalty and making them re-kick.
Yeah, I'm surprised, honestly, they're not sending Braylon Johnson back.
Mm-hmm. He may be up here on the front with
the hands team.
Yep.
You see a number 24 out there. I'm scanning. Yeah, there he is. He's standing on the 40.
Right on the 40.
He's got to, that's the respect, though, that onside kick. You got to think, well, just in case, we need to have our hands guys up there.
Because if you're PA right now and you look at the field, to me, you kick it to the far hash at about the 20. And you make the deep man for Whitehall go chase it down and just dive on the football.
Yeah, and if he doesn't get over there quick enough, that's a loose ball, live ball. That's a line drive kick over his head. That's going to go into the end zone. So you saw a little bit of a leg there from Seelick. Boomed it.
So we talked about a lot there for nothing to happen.
And then Coach Lucas will say, why did you do that the first time? Why did you have to? Well, offsides, kick it out of bounds, put it through the end zone. Seelick, great kick.
And now you're Whitehall. You've got 2 timeouts still, 44 seconds. Maybe you take one shot down the field and then try to grind it out, or maybe you hand the football off here on first down and see what happens and assess from there.
You're down 23.
You are getting the football to start the second half, so you don't want to make it a 30-point deficit. That's first and foremost. These two teams were tied at 21 at the half the first time they met.
Martinez under center. He's just going to hand it off to Green, and Green is quickly tackled. I think Green's going to either going to give him the line of scrimmage.
44.
Joseph Osment, 99 tackles on the season. Let's go ahead and say he's got over 100 now.
100 now.
He came into the game with 99, leading the team in tackles. He also had 6.5 sacks.
Yeah, it looks like Whitehall's going to be content with going to the half, as they don't have to snap it again before we head to the locker room. And we'll go back to the drawing board and see what they can do to slow down this PA offense, who's putting up points and putting up huge yardage.
Good job by the PA defense. 7 points, holding Whitehall to 7. They had a crucial turnover. Then they had they snuffed out the fake punt. So the PA defense has stepped up and delivered when Coach Lucas needed it.
I think if you're PA, you've done everything right. Offensively, defensively, recover an onside kick, and on special teams.
All right, well, let's go down to the sideline and find out what's going through the mind of Anthony Lucas. Kyle? All right, we're not going to get to go down to Kyle and get the coach right now. We'll try to get the coach a little bit later.
So in that first half, though, 361 yards to compare to 103. You know, for Whitehall, you give up the early touchdown, yes, but you go down and score. You get the defensive stop, and you think, okay, we've got the momentum, we've got the chance to go down and score. But instead, you turn the football over on the first drive, on the second drive after that turnover, and it all snowballs on you from there.
30-7, your halftime score. Charlie Pfizer, 8 of 20, 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. We'll take a look at some more stats later on. We're going to take a break. This is the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Hi, I'm Susie Everett, wishing you and your family a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. With our busy lives today, we often forget the greatest gift of Christmas. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. I hope all of us will take the time and share the love of Christ this season. May your holidays be filled with joy and blessings. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Everett.
Centennial Bank is committed to you. Since our founding in 1999, we've become one of the nation's most trusted banks by remembering that you come first, by empowering our communities to reach their highest potential through our dedication to local charities, education, and exceptional service. Because we are proud to call Arkansas home. Banking with you in mind. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
It's halftime in the 5A state championship between Pulaski Academy and Whitehall, a couple of 5A central foes. And Pulaski Academy leads this one 30-7 at the half.
You look at this matchup, Wes, and we thought it was going to be a slugfest. We thought Whitehall was going to be able to go blow for blow with PA, much like they did in the regular season. But how many times have we seen a rematch from the regular season from PA? A lot of times it's been Little Rock Christian. It was close in the regular season, and PA comes out with a solid game plan and rolls in the finals. At least in the first half, it looks like it's happening again.
Now, the coaches at PA were really wanting to make some adjustments, and they felt like some teams in Arkansas were trying to take the blueprint the private school from Tennessee used on Pulaski Academy, and it had given them some problems. And so PA has seen this a couple of weeks now, and so they're really trying to do something to adapt. And that's what a good team does. You know, you got to counter when somebody punches. You got to counter punch, and that's what the Bruins are doing. And it looks like they found something and having some success offensively.
You got to find the adjustment for the adjustment, right? The coaches talk about it all the time. A team is going to be able to handle it, make an adjustment for your initial game plan. It's how do you change things in game? How do you change things at halftime to throw that second blow, that third blow? And unfortunately for Whitehall in this first half, they couldn't answer the second call.
And once again, kudos to this Pulaski Academy defense, holding Whitehall to 7 points in the first half. And they had a key turnover. PA was held offensively on a 4th down. Whitehall had great field position, and the defense, first play, gets the turnover, forces the turnover.
A lot of it because of the bad snap, the high snap, but 13 carries for just 14 yards in that first half for Whitehall. It's a team that's built on running the football. If they can't do that, you take them out of rhythm, you take them out of their base offense. They got to do things they're not comfortable doing, and now that's why you've got down by 23 at the half.
Think about the bad snap, the fake punt, and the PA was all over that, and that was a big loss for Whitehall. All right, we'll have the halftime show when we come back. We'll be back here at War Memorial Stadium in a few minutes with some halftime stats, but stick around. This is the Centennial Bank State Championship games on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Hello, I'm David Basil, and welcome to the Arkansas PBS Sports Halftime Show, sponsored by the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. coming to you from the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame in North Little Rock. It's halftime of our 5A state championship game, but we don't want you to go anywhere because we've got a lot in store. Coming up, a look at what Coach Kevin Kelly has been up to since leaving Pulaski Academy, and we'll also meet a dynamic student athlete from Wynne, Arkansas, Trayvon Holmes. But first, Leah LaFollette, a junior high band conductor, exemplifies why band, sports, and other extracurricular activities are so important to student development. Her excitement and energy lays a foundation for a passionate school culture in Hot Springs.
1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Music to me is like freedom, opportunities, it's fun. Magical sometimes, just because you've been there when you've been like in the dumps and all of a sudden like your jam comes on and all of a sudden you get 10% happier than what you just were before that song came on or that piece of music has started playing, or you find yourself all of a sudden doing air guitar with a broom when you should be just sweeping the kitchen. I mean, those kind of things happen, and that's what music is. It's magic. So I've been teaching band for 16 years, and I love it a lot. I love it a whole lot. Having a bunch of people come together that have never touched an instrument or they know about music and creating like a piece of something fun.
She's a really good teacher, and I enjoy her teaching style.
She's inspired me in a lot of ways, honestly. She's helped me to be overall more confident because I am a very timid person. She has helped me come out of my shell a lot.
Because as soon as they know they sound good in public, they're going to eat it up and love it. I have been with the Big Damn Horns since they started. We're a 10-piece person band, sometimes 12, sometimes 13, depending on who's in town.
I hope y'all are having some fun.
I've gotten to experience a whole lot, I'll say that. Just like with all the other music, like the experiences that you get being in an ensemble, things you never would have gotten to experience or go or meet people that you never would have in your life have met. What I've gotten from being in a rock band versus being in an education setting, they're really interchangeable because you're in front of people regardless. You're always in front of a group of people trying to get them to do something, whether it be dancing or whether it be motivating them to play something better or just have a good atmosphere and like give them some energy to do something. So in an education setting with this age group of middle school, I am very used to being on and being silly. Like all of a sudden I just may break out in song and dance and just cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, and just like the kids sometimes are like, Kathy. I feel like I do that in front of the adults that are at our shows because sometimes they want to be silly, but there's no one that started, you know, like as I say, let's go warm up the dance floor, that kind of thing. So I find that those two things are interchangeable.
I hope you guys are having a good time. Now remember, this is a dance floor. This is a sanctioned area, from what I understand. Yes, sir, exactly, just like that. Just like that.
It's really good to know that she can do something like teaching at like a full-time job and be part of the rock band.
For our junior academy kids to just be able to play and show off the hard work that they've done and show their parents, like, look, this is what commitment looks like and this is what it sounds like to play something and be amazing. I love that people see value in it and they enjoy it.
What a great story. Leah LaFollette is bringing her personal passion of music to the sidelines and the stands there in Hot Springs. Rock on, Leah. A young man with that same mindset is Trayvon Holmes of the Wynne, Arkansas Yellow Jackets. Trayvon has been key to the Yellow Jackets' success this season on both sides of the ball. Let's learn more as Kyle Sutherland catches up with him in Wynne.
Trey, here we are just wrapping up your season, your senior season and your career here in high school. And it's been a pretty good one for you. You guys have only lost 2 games over the last 2 seasons. You know, you were almost really close to last year going to War Memorial and just recently lost a game to Nettleton, but I know that's probably a big motivation for you guys heading into the playoffs.
Yes, sir. I feel like exactly what you said, that we maybe kind of need this loss, maybe like a wake-up call, because we haven't lost a lot recently, especially with my class, and I feel like this is just going to push us to make us better and unite us.
I'm not supposed to be looking in the camera, guys.
The life of Trey Holmes.
A broken hand, but a fixed heart.
I know this year you're playing with your younger brother. You've also got a chance to play with your older brother as well. There's not a lot of people that can say that, both of them, all of your siblings playing together. What's that been like?
It's been great. I played alongside my brother. We were both on defense, so we was like side by side within 3 feet because he was a linebacker. So if he make a play, I'm right there celebrating with him.
And I know you're a multi-sport athlete, track, football, basketball, pretty much. If it involves a ball or running, you like to do it. And which one of those do you prefer out of all of them that you participate in?
I try to say my favorite sport is whatever season going on. I don't like to try to tend to anything. I love them all because I'm just a competitive person.
And you've done really well in the classroom, 3.6 GPA, also a 28 on the ACT. What are some plans that you have for college once your high school tenure's over?
I plan to go on in sports medicine. I want to be like a physical trainer and physical therapist, so I want to also do that and also get my strength and conditioning license.
What made you want to go down that road?
Well, I always want to be with sports, whether it's playing or not. I just want to stay in sports. I just love sports.
And I know your folks probably, if they're like mine, they were definitely, if you don't, well, and of course, if you don't make the grades, you don't play. But I know they've probably been on you and your brothers to make sure that you take care of work in the classroom as you've.
Yes, sir. My mom, she's very strict on us always being on my grades. And for me personally, like, she makes sure that I'm doing on top, especially with my college class. She's always on to me. And I remember one time we had a conversation. She was like, if it's ever too much, you can talk to me, because taking regular and AP classes on top of college, it was kind of stressful sometimes. And my grades did kind of slip, but through her, I got them back up with her encouragement and her having to talk with me.
So you're in AP classes, keep a strong GPA. You're a 4-sport athlete, but you also work on a food truck. How in the world do you balance all this as a teenager?
Well, it is kind of stressful, but it's a lot of time management. I'm always busy, and I like being busy. If you're not busy, you're like kind of bored, and I feel like it just keeps it fast-paced in my life. And I also do have fun, though. Even with all my rigorous schedule, it's just, you know, being committed to what you're actually doing.
What kind of food truck is it? I'm curious.
We have barbecue, burgers, fish, you name it.
Is this a family business?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay.
Fair catch, Tom, fair catch.
Trey, it was good talking with you. Appreciate you taking some time out, and good luck to you guys for the rest of this year.
Great work, Kyle, and good luck, Trayvon. That's it for our 5A halftime show. But remember, you can keep up with all the championship action at Arkansas PBS by joining us at myarpbs.org/signup. I'm David Basil. Let's get back to War Memorial for the second half of the 5A championship on your home of the high school football state finals, Arkansas PBS.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Good look at War Memorial Stadium. A little bit of a mist falling tonight as the Bruins walk back onto the field, or actually jog back onto the field after their little halftime break. Bruins with a 30-7 lead over the Whitehall Bulldogs. Wes Moore, Bobby Swafford with you. Thank you for joining us tonight. And I don't want to say it's been all Bruins because the Bulldogs marched down the first time they had the ball and went down and scored, but since then it's been all Bruins.
Yes, really since that fumble for Whitehall. They had the football down 8-7, that second possession of the game. They fumbled the football, and it's been all PA since that point. They recovered the onside kick. I'm going to get the number wrong, but they're like 145-5 when they recover an onside kick, some astronomical number, and they recovered one, got 7 free points, and now they're sitting on a 23-point advantage.
I think when they get 2 onside kicks, they've only lost 1 time.
Yeah, I believe
it. That was Little Rock Christian in that wild, crazy game a couple of years ago. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights. We have plenty of highlights to show you. The Bruins got on the scoreboard first. That's Joe Hyman. He had 2 big runs in the first half, 35 and 36, and that's the first one. They got the ball across the 50. Oh, see Lane Hatcher there on the sideline. And that's a former PA quarterback, and this is the current PA quarterback. Pfizer with the touchdown run, and then the Bulldogs respond. That's Zaire Green with the big run into Pulaski Academy territory. Then they get on the board there with a little dump-off pass to T.K. Walker, and it was 8-7, and we had a ball game early on after 2 drives. This is the Bulldogs stuffing the 4th down play. Joe Hyman doesn't get the first down, and then Bulldogs go to the air, try to get a big play, and they do. The receiver goes up and takes it away. Jordan Jackson with the big play. That's McKinney for the Bruins. Jalen McKinney with the spinning touchdown. And the Bruins lead it 30-7 at the half. Let's go down to the sideline. Check in. Oh, let's don't. We'll maybe do that a little bit later.
You got to find a way. Anything you do. If you're Whitehall here, if you're getting the football to start this second half, whatever you do, it's 4-down territory wherever you recover the kick. You got to find a way to put points on the board to make this a contest, stretch things out, and maybe hope that Pulaski Academy starts to come back to you. I'm not saying 23 points is insurmountable because it's definitely not in a half of football, but you got to put points up on this initial drive, get some confidence, and get that big Whitehall contingent standing there behind you on the sidelines, behind you, and get them loud and try to rattle this PA offense.
It's a good point because last week in the semifinals, Whitehall was down at the half to Little Rock Christian. Yeah, they were down, I think, 14-0 at one point and scored the last 24 points in the game. You go on a 24-0 run here, you win a state championship and win this game 31-30. And I bet you that's something that Bobby Bolding's been telling them in the locker room and reminding them that, guys, we've been here. We've done this. We can do it again this year.
Yeah, we talked about it during the break at the half. I mean, Whitehall's defense has been there some. Now they got to be there the whole half. They've made 3 out of 4 plays, but it's that 4th play that PA's been able to hit for the big one. 8 of 20 passing in the first half, but it's for 169 yards. So when you're giving up 21 yards of completion, that negates the fact that you force twice as many incompletions as you have completions.
Some numbers for Whitehall. Quarterback Matthew Martinez, 5 of 8 passing, 89 yards and 1 touchdown. That touchdown we just saw the highlight of. Zaire Green leads them in rushing, 8 carries, 36 yards. It's about 4.5 yards a carry. Duran Kane, just 1 carry, 2 yards. Martinez, just 2 carries for 1 yard. And, you know, those 3 guys all over 750 yards rushing on the season. Tonight, they combined for 39 yards in the first half.
Maybe the most surprising number is Kane's only got 1 carry. You know, maybe he's banged up. Maybe there's something that we don't know about. But you're talking about a player who had 752 yards up to this point, led the team in rushing attempts, has 14 touchdowns. He's touched the ball only 1 time in the first 24 minutes. Get the ball to Green, get the ball to Duran, to Kane. And you got to find a chance to get the ball to the guys who got you here. You can't get away from the main game plan.
And you got to get some first downs. You got to move, and then you can run the ball more. They only have 5 first downs.
103 yards of total offense, and you look at the time of possession. I mean, just 11 minutes of ball control against the team who likes to go quickly. You know, PA is never one to win the time of possession, and you're talking almost 13 minutes, more than half of that first half that PA had the football.
Wow, that's an impressive stat for the Bruins in the first half. Controlling the clock, controlling the ball. Receiving wise for Whitehall, Jordan Jackson leads, 2 catches for 43 yards. But, you know, first thing they got to do, we're talking about driving down, getting the touchdown here. First thing they got to do is get this onside kick.
Right. Yeah, you're exactly right. And they're bunched up there in the middle. You see Pulaski Academy huddled up, and Whitehall is ready for a potential quick onside kick as PA fakes it. And now we'll see what they do here.
Whitehall gets it, and they're going to try to return this, try to set it up to that far sideline, but nothing there. And the Bulldogs just fall on it, and they'll start at the 43-yard line. I've seen PA execute that several times this year, but Whitehall's seen it too. They've seen enough tape, and their guys were ready for it, and they had a defender there, or I guess actually a returner there that was ready for it and to go chase it down. That was Caleb Taylor that got the onside kick and moved it out across the 40 to the 43.
So that's step one of this initial drive of this second half for Whitehall. One, you take care of the onside kick. Now, two, now go out and execute. Win the play in front of you. Win the block. Win the assignment, whatever the case may be. Find a way to put points on the board, get the ball in the end zone, and then you got yourself a chance to make a comeback.
Martinez gets the snap, gives it to Zaire Green. Across the 45, short pickup, only 2 yards on the carry. You see that PA defense there. Hunt Harrison. That defense there to keep Green from getting much at all.
And we keep talking about what Whitehall needs to do. Pulaski Academy has to play like they played in the first half defensively. I mean, you're giving up a yard per carry. I mean, you would have told PA that before the game. They'll take that any time.
Martinez gets the snap, hands it off. Green finds a hole, and now he's got more. Green racing to the sideline, to the 30, close to the 25-yard line. That is where they'll mark him out. Zaire Green with maybe his biggest run of the night.
A nice job by Green to bounce that to the outside, picks up 30 yards. And this drive already looks much more similar to that first drive that Whitehall had to start the contest, and that's what they have to do. That's the recipe for success. Rely on those two running backs that you talked about at the top of the broadcast, your Thunder and Lightning. Use those guys as much as you possibly can.
One of the biggest differences in the PA defense that we saw after that first drive was better tackling. And we pointed that out, and we just saw it there. Green broke 3 tackles, had 3 defenders diving at his legs. They could not bring him down, and he gets another big run. Martinez in the air, throwing to the corner of the end zone. It's caught. That's a touchdown for Whitehall. Quick response from the Bulldogs. Stephen Weston hauls it in, and now it's 30-13.
A great concept there at the top of your screen. A corner route for Weston, and Martinez did a great job of putting it on him. You see the end cut. The corner route goes over the top, and the safety can't get over there to make the play, just out of the reach of Barker, the defensive back. And now Whitehall is within 17, and looks like they may be trying to go for 2.
You saw it's Charlie Barker that was trying to make the play. Barker is in because Patton Wicker, starting defensive back for Pulaski Academy, is out of the game. He broke his elbow, hurt his elbow last week, and he is not playing. A little jump pass for 2, big collision, and that is knocked out. It looked like they had that, and I thought TK was going to bring it in, TK Walker, for the 2-point conversion, but you see Bo Miller come in flying in. Was that Bo or was that Hunt Harrison? We're showing them both. Let's take a look at the replay, and this big lick knocks the ball out.
He's wide open, just put a little too much air underneath it, and you're exactly right. Josh Cady is there, number 8.
At 8, I thought it was 2.
2, maybe it's Bo Miller.
Yeah. They're tough to tell. Could have been Cady.
Either way, it's just a little too much air underneath the ball and allowed the defense time to collapse over and knock that one free. And that's big because you kicked the extra point there. It's still a 2-possession game at 16, and now it's still a 3-score game as the margin sets at 30-13.
If he holds on to it, it's 30-15. You know, a touchdown and then a touchdown 2-point conversion. You got it tied. So big play from the Bruins defense to stop the 2-point conversion, limit the damage. Now Whitehall will kick off, and we've seen their kicker boot it through the into the end zone a couple of times. There's Kyler Barnes, puts his foot into it. It's going to sail out of bounds. That'll give PA some better field position. Let's go down to the sideline. I think we've got everything fixed, and we want to check in with Kyle Sutherland. Kyle.
Hey, guys, can you hear me now?
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, there we go. I've had some issues there at halftime and a little after. But I talked to Coach Lucas, and basically he was just saying about his defense, they played really great, but he just wants to see them finish. They played real good in the playoffs so far, and so really just about now it's just all about finishing that. Now, of course, we saw what Whitehall just did, so you can't let them come back from PA's perspective there. But overall, he's very, very satisfied with what they've done. They just got to finish it out.
Pfizer fakes it to Hyman. Quick pass out to Charette. Charette moves it almost to the 40. They'll mark him down at the 38. So short game for PA on first down.
We haven't seen a lot of the screen game from Pulaski Academy in years past. They've been a very heavy screen team. We haven't seen it so much tonight. Now we see it first play of this third quarter. They try to go to it, but Whitehall is right there to shut it down for a 4-yard gain.
Pfizer, an empty backfield. He's going to keep it. He's going to run it. Nothing there. Now he's going to take it outside. Tries to get outside, but that speed of the Whitehall defense was very evident on that play.
Yeah, in the first half, we talked about the lack of numbers in the box for Whitehall. That time, the Bulldogs kept plenty of players in the tackle box, and there was nowhere to run for Pfizer. Nice job filling the hole, and you stretch it out, and he's got to take a slide, and he might have lost half a yard.
We saw Rodrigo Bowens, number 43, right there filling the hole, and Pfizer was like, I'm not going there. That's a free man. Pfizer and Hyman standing side by side. We've seen them snap it directly to Hyman a couple of times.
There's safety deep.
Pfizer. He's looking deep. He's going to Charlie Barker. Barker goes up for it, and he's got it. Barker inside the 15, knocked down at the 13-yard line.
It's man-to-man across the board. 3 receivers were to the near side, and the go route, no help over the top, and Pfizer had all day to throw it, and he lets one fly, and his playmaker on the outside reels it in, and just like that, PA's back in the red zone.
Great adjustment by Barker. Brings it in. Direct snap to Hyman. Hyman tries to fall forward. He does. Picks up 1.
Whitehall does a nice job. They've done a nice job outside that initial drive of the contest to slow down Hyman as we got a stoppage with the Whitehall defender down. But they've done a pretty decent job of slowing down the do-it-all running back for Pulaski Academy. There's 15 touches, 108 total yards for Hyman.
There's a look at the Bulldog defender that's down, and he was in a little bit of a pain.
Vaughn Shelton, the senior defensive lineman.
He was pounding the turf with his fist. He's going to try to walk it off.
Oh, one of his own players kind of rolled up on his ankle or his right knee, and legs don't bend that way. Hopefully he's all right.
Slowly getting off the field. Can't put all of his weight on it. It's a big loss for the Bulldogs. Shelton, one of their main guys down inside. Okay, so the Bruins will have 2nd and 9. So the referee signals to regain play. He starts the clock.
And Hyman by himself. Going to be at the bottom of your screen. The numbers really aren't there for a quarterback draw. I'm going to try it anyway.
Pfizer takes off. He's coming to the near sideline. Pfizer leaps into the end zone. They're going to say he was out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds at the 3. That will be close to the first down marker. Very close.
Numbers weren't there between the tackles, but just the patience. You can tell that's a run-pass option. Pfizer keeps his eyes downfield, smartly bounces that to the outside and picks up a few yards and did just step on the chalk before he reached for the pylon.
Great shot from our cameraman showing he stepped out of bounds right there at the 3, right where they marked him. Good call from the official. Pfizer and Hyman. Look at the Bulldogs. Got 9 guys in the box.
And we got to believe this is direct snap.
There you go. Pfizer splits out wide. They're just letting him go. We got 2-on-1 outside. PA doesn't care. They're going to give it to Hyman. Hyman gets it inside the 1.
You're going to try to find a way to get Hyman in the end zone. It's one of the few times that he's been shut out in the first half, but he's just a yard away from it. I imagine they're going to go quickly and run the exact same play.
You called it. Did he get in? He got in. Touchdown, Hyman.
Second effort, Whitehall shut him down initially, But that second effort, the lunge by Hyman, and that's a big response score. We talked about how important it was for Whitehall to score initially, and PA answers the bell back and pushes that lead back.
I was told that a certain school didn't think Hyman was big enough to play for them, and he doesn't look too small there with that power and the second effort, as you pointed out. He's a strong young man.
We've seen players significantly smaller than him be very successful at high D1 schools. So the argument that he's not big enough to play for us really doesn't fly with me unless you're talking about someone who's in about the 4th grade.
You know, Traylon Smith's not the biggest guy either, is he?
No, it's not. And last I checked, he's pretty good.
Yep. Selig's kick is up. It's good. Tack on one more point for the Bruins. 37-13. We'll take a break. Bruins up 24. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Riggs Rents, Arkansas's rental equipment provider, from aerial lifts to dirt moving machines and everything in between. Our family-owned and operated business takes pride in serving our employees and customers. Riggs Rents, a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackelford.
We want you to join the conversation. You can do it on social media. Just use the hashtag ARPBSSports.
Bruins getting set for another onside kick. They've been successful once tonight, and it was big because they turned it into points. Oh, Whitehall does a good job once again, grabbing that, knocking it down. Caleb Taylor falls on it.
2 Whitehall players kind of collided there, and Taylor got the wrong end of it, but he's still able to maintain the onside kick. And now again, answer time. Still 3-possession game, but it's the maximum, 24 points for Whitehall. There should be enough possessions. You don't have to worry about watching the clock just yet, but can't let it get away from you.
See if we see a little bit more sense of urgency from the Bulldogs, going a little faster.
I don't think you need to yet. Once you get to the final 4 minutes of the 3rd quarter, and obviously in the 4th quarter, I think is when you really have to worry about the clock.
We'll start passing along some other playoff scores for you, but first, this is Zaire Green to the outside. Green's brought down, but not until he picks up about 7 yards. Number 7 goes for 7.
He did it. He's the one that sparked the offense on that last possession. They try to get him on the outside, a little toss out of the pistol, get him out in space, and he picks up 6.
Second down and 4.
Bulldogs scored on their first drive of the first half. They scored on their first drive of the second half. Trying to keep it going here. It's Green once again. Well, that's actually Kane. They brought in the big back. We saw lightning. Here's thunder. He's unable to get the first down, but he picks up a yard. So be 3rd and I'll call it 3. Maybe. Oh, well, it's a full 3.
It's the second touch for Kane. They've kind of gotten away from the thunder and lightning. They've went predominantly lightning tonight. 11 carries to 2 between Green and Kane.
You got to feel like this is 4-down territory, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Kane a couple of times. Martinez with the fake snap, fake attempt to snap it. Tried to draw PA offsides, didn't work.
Bringing pressure right up the middle.
Martinez is going to keep it. He gets the first down. You kind of called that. You're going to go to some of the backs, and then Martinez later on keep it and fools the defense. And
yeah, they were bringing pressure up the middle. Martinez read it with the play fake and able to get outside the tackle and cut it up and get a first down, a much-needed first down for the Bulldogs.
So Whitehall trying to answer. That was a big answer for the Bruins. You know, Whitehall had a little momentum. They were getting excited, thinking they're getting back into this thing. The Bruins march down and get the touchdown. You know, hand it off to the outside. Here comes Green. Green gets the corner. Green to the 31. He gets a first down. Move the chains again.
You know, Green doesn't have great size, but he does a fantastic job of running through arm tackles, especially around the legs. You can tell he's been in the weight room, and he just runs through an arm tackle right here, picks up extra yardage, and gets the first down. And this might be a good chance right here, Wes. We saw the big screenplay that went for the touchdown in the first half. Might be time to dial that back up again if you're Coach Bobby Bolding.
Little play action pass. You got that PA defense thinking they're going to run the ball and hit them deep.
Yep, Stephen Weston, number 4, looks like he's going to be locked up man-to-man. I like his odds one-on-one to just get about anybody in the state.
Keep an eye on.
So if they try to take advantage, he's going to be at the top of your screen.
He does have one-on-one coverage. They got double coverage on the other side. May have been tipped. Came out kind of weird and low and incomplete. Yeah. Coach Bolding in the background, he was upset about something. Let's see here on the replay.
Yep, indeed. The big defensive tackle got a little pressure off the snap, got a paw up in the passing lane and knocked that one down. But they saw exactly what we did, one-on-one. You know, the defensive back was playing off, and so they tried the little 5-yard hitch, but the defensive lineman thwarted that effort.
You think you get it to him, he breaks the tackle, he's gone. That's
right.
A touchdown.
Exactly right.
Corner is on an island.
They're going to be on an island right here as well. Man-to-man, top of your screen.
Martinez, he's going to throw. He's going deep. Like his receiver kind of stopped on him and was going out of bounds anyway. He was trying to hook up with Jordan Jackson, and Jackson kind of turned his route and stopped, and then he saw the ball in the air and started running again and couldn't get over there to it.
Yeah, he might have decided who he was going to throw the football to before he snapped it there, as he picked the one of the 3 receivers that was double teamed. He had man-to-man coverage on the top of your screen, 2 receivers, 2 defensive backs, and on this one he had a safety over the top, and luckily that one went out of bounds if you're a Whitehall fan.
Jackson does lead Whitehall in receptions, 34 catches on the season, 572 yards. He has a Division II offer. Coach Bolding said he had about 3 players with D2 offers, and Jackson's one of them.
2 catches, 43 yards tonight for Jackson.
Martinez is going to keep it. He's not going to get much.
Late flag.
Very late flag.
That's the type of play call when you know you've got 4 downs. You try to get about half of it back, but now we'll have to check the laundry.
Makes me think it's either holding or could have been a face mask late like that.
It's been a really clean game. Only 5 penalties up to this point, and one of them was on I guess 2 of them were on a kickoff.
5-yard face mask, defense, 5-yard penalty, replay, 3rd down.
So the big thing about that penalty, Wes, is you get the yardage of the rush, you get the 5 yards, and you get the down back. So you don't have to do either or. So that ends up being an 8-yard play, and now you're in 3rd and short.
8-yard play that didn't happen.
That's right.
An 8-yard gift. So it's 3rd and 2. About halfway through this 3rd quarter.
Maybe Martinez here with the football. Do it himself.
He called it. He gets the first down. Moves it across the 20. Down to the 19.
I'd like to say I'm a football guru, but when you're the only man in the backfield and 3rd and short, odds are you're going to run it. Nice job by the right side of that offensive line, the extra tight end and a wing back. And move the line of scrimmage and pick up the first down easily.
Hunt Harrison on the tackle. Got him around the legs. Whitehall patient. Down 24 in the 3rd quarter. Got 10 seconds on the play clock. Just now breaking the huddle. Martinez all by himself in the backfield. He's going to go a little double move. And that's just incidental contact. The Whitehall defender, or the Whitehall offensive player, and that's a good look at the PA defender, Charlie Barker. They both were looking up in the air for the ball, and when they did, they just ran into each other. Legs got tangled. You see it right there. That's a good no call in my book.
Kind of like a sluggo, the slant and go. He was angling out towards the pylon, and you mentioned there the incidental contact. I think that's a good no call.
It's Josh Cady. I'm having problems with these numbers from way up here, but they're going to go back to the same place. Cady there, knocks it down. I told you earlier, Cady's got 7 interceptions on the year, and he almost had number 8.
Yeah, he was a fraction of a step from picking that one off in stride and going 85 yards for a score. They tried the quick hitch, and Cady read it perfectly. Luckily, that one falls incomplete.
See what they're doing? They're putting their best corner. PA's putting their best corner and just saying, you're all alone. Yep. And we're going to give some help to our other corners on the other side, but you're going to lock up whoever you got, and you're not going to have any help. That's how much they trust Josh Cady.
They've tried the combo routes. Let's maybe see if they go back to that corner route.
Fake it. Now they're going to throw it. There's Cady. He's looking for it. Goes in the air. It's a fight for the ball in the air, and it's incomplete. Maybe Cady got it. We may have a review here. We haven't had one yet. The officials are talking, trying to figure it out. Now they say touchdown.
Well, of course, this one will be reviewed. They'll take a look at it. But the receiver for Whitehall, Jordan Jackson, will be credited with the touchdown, but he's not getting up. And here's going to be a look at it. So, of course, simultaneous possession goes to the offense.
Yeah, we're going to have to take a look at that.
They're going to stop this one pretty quickly. Jackson's still down on the turf, and it looked like his head might have banged off the turf.
I was hoping he just had the wind knocked out of him, but I think you and I saw the same thing on the replay. Jackson's still being looked at as they go and have already announced this play is under review. So they're up in the booth reviewing it right now. And all scoring plays are automatically reviewed. And then you have a play like this that could be a turnover. They're going to review that. So
I think the question is, did he have possession long enough or control of the ball long enough to say it was a completed catch? Right. In high school, you don't have to say, okay, he completed the process of going to the ground. It's not crazy like it is in the NFL.
Here's another look at it. Jackson has it. And then Cady has it.
To me, that first look right there says that he made the catch going to the ground, not enough to overturn it. I'm not going to say it's confirmed, but I don't think you can overturn it here. It's a great look. He high points the ball. He does make the catch initially. And again, since it was ruled touchdown, Wes, I just don't know if there's enough evidence there to send it the other way.
You see the ball come out once his head hits the ground, comes out of his hands right there, and it's just on the ground, and that's when Cady picks it up.
It's a great throw, a great job by Jackson to go up and get the football. Might have got away with a little bit of a push-off. That's a great camera shot. That's a touchdown to me. I think the ball comes out after he hits the ground, and I think the officials are going to say that's enough of a catch.
Maybe one of those where whatever's on the and that, let me be clear of this. The replay's here to correct obvious mistakes.
Correct.
Obvious. And you have to have clear evidence. Yep. This isn't an NFL type rule. They want to, it's got to be something that is clear cut, easy to fix. And to me, this isn't one of those.
Yep. I think there's just not enough there. And I think you may be right, Wes, and here's the call.
Pass is incomplete. Be 4th down and 19.
So they saw more than we did.
Well, and we have, I mean, these replay officials here are at the top of their craft. They are very good. These aren't, just your guys off the street. I tell you what, I know some of these guys, and they do a fantastic job. And you're right. They saw a little something there.
So he didn't complete the catch as kind of how I'm going to translate that. You don't have to do like the NFL. You have to survive the ground and come up and stand up with the football. But they're saying that he didn't maintain possession long enough.
And we couldn't see it. I couldn't see it with my angle. The ball may have been on the ground, and that's why it's not an interception. And Cady didn't take it from his arms. He just took it from the ground. All right, so 4th down, big play for the Bulldogs. Martinez keeps it. He's scrambling, trying to get up the middle, but he won't get enough yards for the 1st down. Bulldogs turn it over. The Bruins celebrate as they come off the field.
Whitehall tried to overload the right side of the the offensive formation, the left side of the defense, but a great job by the PA secondary to lock everything up. And Martinez tries to scramble, but he can't get all the way there. And a big defensive stop, another big defensive stop for that Bruin D.
You think about it on the 4th down situation when they're wanting to throw, well, you're without one of your top receivers. If not your top receiver, and Jordan Jackson, he had to leave the game. So PA takes over, ball inside their own 15. Long way to go. Bruins hand it off to Hyman. A reverse coming back the other way. That's McKinney with it. McKinney picks up the first down. He's up to the 25-yard line.
Initially, it looked like Whitehall did a great job of staying home and was going to snuff that out. But the credit goes to the downfield blocking on the perimeter from the receivers for PA. Allowed McKinney just enough time to find a seam, and they moved the chains. This is a big drive for the Whitehall defense because this is a potential put-away drive for the PA offense.
Pfizer splits everybody out. 4 wide to his left. He's looking to throw. Pfizer scrambles, runs to his sideline. He's got his receiver there. Did he catch it in bounds? No, incomplete.
Tried to drag a foot, but they're going to say that right foot landed out of bounds before he made complete possession of that catch and ruled incomplete.
Will Hawkins tried to get that sideline catch. Here's a good look at the replay as Pfizer tries to hit him right on the sideline. Close. Not quite.
Coach Lucas could challenge that if he wanted to, but I think that would just slow his offense down and get him out of rhythm.
2nd and 10. Pfizer's just going to keep it right up the middle. Good blocking. Picks up 4 yards on the play.
Celebrate game day under the arches. You can access tons of benefits through our rewards program. They're available on the McDonald's app. We're loving it.
Credit to that PA offensive line. Alan Thomason, junior. Charlie Fisher, a senior. Trev Duke, the junior center. Max Gorman, a senior. Shannon McDaniel, right tackle. He's a junior. So 3 juniors and 2 seniors on that offensive line for PA, paving the way for Pfizer and Joe Hyman to have big nights. Pfizer back to pass. Pfizer going deep. Has a receiver, but overthrows a receiver. Incomplete. Looking for John Mark Charette again.
Now one big play here for the Whitehall defense. You got a chance to give your offense great field position, but that's easier said than done as PA is quickly on the football. Looking to get this 4th down snap off quickly.
4th and 6. Here comes Hyman back. Kind of looking to see how that Whitehall defense is going to use Joe Hyman or try to defend Joe Hyman when they send him in motion.
And it looks like they're just manned up, no deep safety for the Bulldogs.
Rolling out. Pfizer now under pressure. Goes back to the other side, trying to get a block. Finds a receiver, throws it, but it's out of bounds. Caught by McKinney, but he was out of bounds. And so PA turns it over on downs. Whitehall's defense does the job.
Who made the play there, and he's not going to get credit for it, was number 21, Keon Weston, the sophomore defensive back. The initial read there was a speed out right near the sticks, and he had to completely lock down. That forced Pfizer to reverse field and try something the other way, and now this is a big opportunity for the Bulldogs. They missed the opportunity to score when they were in the red zone last time. Now they're inside the 30, a chance to get this back to a 2-possession game in the 3rd quarter, and that would be huge.
Want to give a little credit to Braylon Johnson, too. He came from that safety position, just flew through there, made Pfizer reverse field, and just blew up the play. Handoff to Green. Green, nothing there. That PA defense stacked it up.
Now without Jackson on one side of the offense for Whitehall, you kind of believe that PA may be stacking the box and forcing another player to make an impact other than Green in the backfield.
Good look at Romello Bell. Bell actually is from Whitehall. His family moved to Little Rock when he was in the 8th grade, 9th grade, and this game means a lot to him. He's got a lot of family still at Whitehall. Bell, a junior.
Grew up
good size
playing Little League football with these guys, I'm sure.
Good point. Romello Bell with 11.5 tackles for loss this year, 2 sacks. Going to fake it, and they're going to throw it. PA's defense missed the tackle and still on his feet. That's TK. TK Walker. We've seen him score once already tonight. He's tough to bring down.
That's strength. And the run after contact there turns a medium gain to a big gain, and now they're knocking on the door of a 1st and goal type situation. Just a little play action pass, leak him out to the flat, and he knows what to do with it. Lowers the shoulder.
Strength right there from TK Walker, and he gets the ball to the 11. 2 minutes, 7 seconds in the 3rd quarter. Whitehall really needs a score here, down 24. Good look there at Martinez. Looks over the defense. Hands it off to the big back. That's Kane. PA defense putting some pain on Kane, and he loses yards.
They're loading the box when 8's in the game. I don't know if that's a telltale sign. If he's in the game, that means they're going to run the football. But PA's selling out when Kane's in the backfield, and that time they dump him for a loss. And Kane's not doing a whole lot.
Dale Pino with the play there. Dale was being held, and no call. He fought off the hold, and with one arm brought Kane down and just stopped the play. You can see why Coach Lucas was so happy Pino was back. They go inside again, and nothing there.
It's fourth carry for Kane. He's got 3 yards. Just can't get the big man going, and Green's been able to pick up some of the slack tonight, but just the ground attack not there. 25 carries for about 80 yards.
Joseph Osmuth that time.
Just 4 down territory, you got to believe, Wes.
You got to believe the PA defense. Madison Taylor, defensive coordinator, Jason Wyatt, they're happy with this defense and the run defense, what they've been able to do tonight.
There's no question about that. We're going to have to hurry to get this one out. Play clock winding down.
Play clock at 5. Martinez. Coach Boulding wanted the timeout. He got it. I didn't know if they were going to give it to him. Ball had been snapped, and they blew it dead.
So we've got to burn a timeout here in the third quarter, but I think that's a smart call by Coach Boulding. You want to make sure you roll your best play out there. You know you've got to score every time you touch the football now for the rest of the game, and you got to get a 2-point conversion. You want to make sure you're in the proper set. You like the alignment. You like the defensive look that you're getting from Pulaski Academy. And go out there and roll the dice and try to make a play.
Coach Boulding visibly upset. He didn't like what he saw there and was upset. He had to take a timeout, burn what may be at some point in this game a crucial timeout.
Right. Of course, you like to save those, and if anytime you're trailing, you like to save them for when you're on defense. So you burn it on offense. You take away that opportunity to save 40 seconds at some point in the fourth quarter. I'd like to send a big shout out to Ashley Media for helping us get the word out about the state football championship games. We appreciate the support. We've got plenty more of them over the next 2 weekends. 8-man football game last night was a shootout, 66-60. Wes was lucky he didn't have to expend the voice for 3 hours and 45 minutes last night. As Strong beat Mountain Pine in double overtime.
Checking the scoreboard, Prescott's up on McGee 30-14. There's 1:30 to go in the third quarter, so Prescott trying to get a little revenge on McGee. Martinez under pressure, he gets rid of it, and it's caught for the touchdown. Martinez delivers a strike to Stephen Weston. Martinez took a lick, but he delivered, and Weston gets it across the goal line.
What a play by Martinez. He knew the hit was coming. He stands in there and delivers a dart right at the goal line, and Weston does a nice job using his body as a shield. Gets across the goal line for the score, and now Whitehall going for 2 to try to make this a 16-point game.
37-19. That's a good point, Bobby. Make it a 2-possession game. Martinez has Kane behind him. Now to his side. Martinez going to throw it back, and his receiver fell down.
They tried an offensive line throwback, and the lineman fell down, and the ball falls harmless to the turf, and now it's an 18-point game, and that's huge, as the number of possessions are going to be certainly limited, as we've got 36 seconds left here in the third.
Oh, may have been tipped also when they threw it back, tossed it back.
Saw an offensive lineman catch the game-tying 2-point conversion last night. So pull out all the stops.
Wow. Little 8-man drama.
Last night was entertaining. If you haven't watched 8-man football, get on youtube.com/Arkansas PBS next week and watch that 8-man game. It was entertaining. 66-60. I mentioned as long as the game took.
66. It's 126.
It was 34-20 Strong. Final minute of the first half. Then it was 52-34 Mountain Pine. And then it was tied at 52. They went on an 18-0 run to close the game, did Strong. To close regulation, I should say, including a safety during that stretch.
Just got an update from McGee. Prescott now leads at 36-14. So they are 7 minutes away from punching their ticket to War Memorial Stadium to play in the 3A state championship next weekend. Pulaski Academy gets the kickoff, and they slip down, so they're going to have bad field position for the first time tonight off of a kickoff. That was Kenny Jordan, the running back, just slipped there. Last check, Harding Academy was all over Boonville. I haven't seen the score lately, but it looked like they were in control and would be heading to War Memorial Stadium.
A chance for Harding Academy to repeat. Would that be 3 straight for the Wildcats? And of course the Curly Wolves of Prescott, they're looking to get back here.
Fordyce has just scored. Talking about a team trying to repeat. They take the lead over Clarendon. It's 7-6 in the fourth quarter. It had been 6-0 Clarendon for a long time. Pfizer to throw. Quick pass out to his receiver. That was Hyman. Hyman caught it, but he was quickly brought down at the 20-yard line, but still that'll be a gain of about 7. Kind of like that play. You throw it out, and if Hyman breaks the tackle, he's gone.
Yeah, just get him one-on-one, and that's going to do it for the third quarter. Chance to put it away for PA, but Whitehall hanging tough.
One more quarter to go in the 5A state championship game. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Team sports in Arkansas really is the building of character. It's being able to get through trials and tribulations as a team. You take those lessons from team sports and use them in everyday life situations. I'm RJ Hawk. Please consider giving to Arkansas PBS Sports.
This month in Passport on the PBS video app.
Feels like a oneness, and it's refreshing.
Starring Cara Toynton and Julian Ovenden. Don't miss The Sound of Music.
And the American Pops for a star-studded holiday celebration of American jazz legend Ella Fitzgerald.
These and other shows from Arkansas PBS are available with Passport on the PBS video app.
Had 2 late touchdowns. Back at War Memorial Stadium, and the Bruins facing a 2nd and 5. Pfizer with it, and he throws it quick out, breaks the tackle, and he's got room to run. Will they be able to catch him? That's Jalen Mckinney. They're not going to catch him. Touchdown, Bruins.
80 yards west to the house, and just one-on-one on the outside, and speed to burn for McKinney. And he knows what to do with it when he gets the ball in space, and the junior, who's likely going to be playing on Saturdays at some point, and he showed off the wheels.
Just a quick pass, breaks the tackle, and he's gone. It's simple. When you got one-on-one coverage and the cornerback misses the tackle, there's nobody there. McKinney goes 80 yards. Bruins now got 43 on the board. Seelick will try to make it 44.
That's just the risk you have to take when you're on defense. You go man-to-man, no safety help over the top, and one missed tackle in space as they tack on the PAT, and you're going to be off to the races. And Whitehall has done a nice job, despite the 44 points, haven't given up the big play. That time the big play might have broken their back.
That's got to be deflating. You feel like you scored the touchdown. You had Kenny Jordan slip on the kickoff return. You had him pinned deep. You had a simple little 5-yard pass to Joe Hyman. They make the tackle on that one, but then they go back and run a similar play to Jalen McKinney. And
they like the matchup. I mean, that's all that is. If that's the look that Whitehall's going to give them, they're just going to go back to it, and continue to make that play in space, because odds are the players are getting tired at this point, and that's when the tackling starts to go. And You see the two coaches there, and that time the chess match was won by Coach Anthony Lucas.
We've had some mist throughout the night. The field may be a little slick, and you slip a little bit as a defender, and you're not in position to make a correct tackle. The next thing you're reaching for it, and he's gone. Looks like Pulaski Academy is going to kick off deep.
Yep. And now when you've got a 25-point lead, so you're up 4 possessions in the fourth quarter. There's no point in giving them a short field and go ahead and kick it deep. This one's going to go in the end zone, it looks like. Close to it. It does. And now, Whitehall may not get enough possessions, and they're certainly going to start having to go no huddle and worry about the clock.
Well, we got 2 more state championship games tomorrow, but across the state tonight, you had 6 games, 2 in each classification, in 4A, 3A, and 2A. It's the semifinals, and we're getting some scores in. Arkadelphia is knocking off Shiloh Christian right now. Last check, Arkadelphia led it 41-35, still in the third quarter. Joe T. Robinson has already punched their ticket, so the Senators will be coming back to War Memorial Stadium next week. They knocked off Warren 43-13.
That's impressive. And what an interesting nugget I saw there, the 4 semifinalists in Class 4A represented the last 6 state champions. It shows you how powerful those 4 programs have been in that classification.
With Arkadelphia and Shiloh Christian, and then, of course, Joe T. Exactly, Warren. That's a loaded field right there. Martinez keeps it on first down, picks up about 3. We mentioned the 3A game with Prescott taking a lead over McGee. Well, Harding Academy has punched their ticket. The Wildcats knocked off Boonville tonight 56-27, so Harding Academy will be back at War Memorial Stadium.
It's a trend. We see it a lot. Teams coming to repeat and three-peat and all that.
Martinez, quick out to his receiver, but you see the tackle there. That was a good tackle by Bo Miller for the Bruins, and that prevents any kind of a big play. Third down. Need about 3. They need to get to the 30.
Third down and 3.
Bulldogs getting the right personnel in. Martinez is going to go under center. He's got Kane behind a fullback. We're going to give it to Kane, and Kane was just stuffed. That PA defense got penetration, and there was just nowhere for Kane to go. He loses about 2 on the play. That's going to bring up 4th and 5.
For all the football fans out there today, all live action photos from the game are available at myarpbs.org/photos. You can download them, get prints made as well. Download photos from the contest you're watching right now on your lookie box.
The final from 2A, McCrory knocks off Poen 20-18.
Wow. You got to give a tip of the cap to Poen. You know, the bracket kind of fell their way, and they won some games. Fall a little short, though.
Seeing a note on Twitter as Whitehall they're going to go ahead and punt it. PA, of course, no one deep. Gets a great Whitehall bounce. They're going to let it roll inside of the 30 to about the 28-yard line. Poen was driving late in the game, but we're stopped on 4th and 1.
2A bracket is just, it's been wild. I mean, you think that you're going to go chalk. Bigelow's the #1 team. I know they lost in a controversial fashion, but they go down. Clarendon was a team that a lot of teams thought might make another run. I know Desark, I believe they're playing tonight in the semifinals. Correct me if I may be wrong on that one.
The other semifinals got, I just went blank, Fordyce.
Yeah, that's right.
Fordyce just took the lead over Clarendon.
Yeah, so it's, it's a little madness in that 2A bracket. It was definitely not chalk like you're used to seeing in some classifications.
McCrory had knocked off Desark a little earlier. They faked the pitch to Hyman. Now they're going to go across the middle. First down. Good throw and catch. That's McKinney again. McKinney was their most explosive wide receiver this season. The junior came into the game leading the team in receptions with 69. He already had 1,245 yards receiving on the season. And tonight, now he's got 115. So that's going to put him well over 1,300, almost 1,400 yards receiving this season. And he had 13 touchdowns. And now he's got 2 tonight, right? So that's 15 touchdowns on the season for Jalen Mckinney.
That's not bad for what you want to call a Robin to Joe Hyman's Batman.
Going deep, looking for John Mark Charette. He catches it across the middle. Charette's inside the 35, Mark him down at the 34, and Pfizer's numbers are starting to get better.
He started, was it 4 of 13 passing now. He's improved to 14 of 29, well over 300 yards. That may push him up actually close to 350. So the stats are updated. You know, Pulaski Academy does not take the foot off the pedal, by the way. You know, they've got a 25-point lead in the fourth quarter. That doesn't mean they're going to slow down.
Pfizer with 4 receivers to his left, 1 single receiver to his right. He's looking to his right. A little fake, pump and go, and had a little contact down there, but no flag. Sometimes you run that little fake and go, and you fake out the cornerback, but then when you go, he's in your way, and that's kind of what happened. He just ran into the cornerback.
They were hoping the speed out they ran a couple times, including the big one that McKinney popped for a touchdown. They were going to bite on that as Hyman faked the out and went on the out and up, and as you mentioned, the defensive back right there slowed him down.
Pfizer's just going to keep it and take off with it. Makes 1 move and is able to get the ball to the 30, a gain of about 4.
Good with that if you're PA, because more importantly, that clock continues to run. Because now we're within 8 minutes of them claiming state title number 7 in the last 8 seasons.
Tackle by Gray Shaner. We've seen Shaner all over the field tonight from that middle linebacker spot. He's been putting a lot of pressure on Pfizer, and the time he made the tackle and kept Pfizer from picking up a much more than 4 yards.
Now PA going to start to lead this play clock all the way down, at least majority of the way.
Pfizer on 3rd down. Just a little high. Could have been dangerous. Charlie Barker was trying to bring it in.
It looked like it went through 2 of his receivers' hands. Might have been Hyman in the slot, and McKinney in the slot, and Barker behind him.
A couple years ago in the state championship game, PA had it go through a receiver's hands and had another receiver streaking down the field, and it just landed in his lap, and he went all the way for a touchdown.
Sometimes it just goes your way. A lot of it's gone PA's way tonight.
7.5 minutes to go. Bruins facing 4th and 6. Pfizer looking, a lot of contact downfield. They're letting them play. Pfizer chunks it deep, throws a Hail Mary to his receiver, and actually Charlie Barker did a good job of just breaking it up. And he kind of played defense there for a second, but that'll be a turnover on downs. He had a receiver. He was looking to the top of his screen right there, and the receiver did a double move. And once again, the cornerback they ran into each other, and the cornerback kind of basically grabbed him and stopped him, but no flag was called, and they turned the ball over on downs. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll finish it up. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Championship games on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Hi, I'm Susie Everett, wishing you and your family a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. With our busy lives today, we often forget the greatest gift of Christmas. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. I hope all of us will take the time and share the love of Christ this season. May your holidays be filled with joy and blessings. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Everett.
Centennial Bank is committed to you. Since our founding in 1999, we've become one of the nation's most trusted banks by remembering that you come first, by empowering our communities to reach their highest potential through our dedication to local charities, education, and exceptional service, because we are proud to call Arkansas home. Banking with you in mind. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Again, I want to give special thanks to Community Bakery for providing food for our crew and their continued support of Arkansas PBS.
Whitehall with the ball now, desperately needing some points and in a hurry. Ball's batted in the air and it falls to the ground. Bruins were trying to get an interception right there, but good job from the defenders getting their hands up. You see Dale Pino again making plays.
Whitehall tried the tunnel screen there. That's why it looked like a mad dash to the quarterback. 3 defenders in the backfield, and did a nice job of getting the hand on the ball, because if that one gets through there, that might be a big play on the outside, and really good to see Jordan Jackson back out there.
Mason Schick was in there putting pressure on the quarterback. Martinez Got one back. Looks like Kane. Martinez throws it to Green. Green makes a move. Green close to the first down. They'll give him the first down. To move the chains. Ball's on the 40. We saw Green and Kane in the game at the same time, and Green makes the catch.
This is not their forte, though, Wes. They're not a team that likes to line up in the shotgun and spread it out, but you've got to do something down 25 with just 7 minutes left in your season and try to get this a little closer, make it a little more respectable, at least in the box score when you open up the newspaper tomorrow. I assume people still read the paper.
Pull it up on their laptop.
That's right.
Martinez finds his receiver. His receiver's open. Jordan Jackson, as you mentioned, back in the game. He's just short of the 50, so it'll be 2nd and 1.
Catch number 4. 56 yards now for Jackson.
6 minutes, 15 seconds to go in this one. Bulldogs get the play in. Martinez, quick pass out to his receiver. Great grab. Stephen Weston had to leap and catch that. A little bit not on the same page, but he still makes the catch. Moves the chains. That's the first down.
And got a final. Fordyce punches their ticket. The Redbugs, but coming back to Little Rock, 7-6 over Clarendon.
So we still have all of our defending champs alive. Is that right?
Yeah. That would be correct.
Yeah, Bryant will play tomorrow. Greenwood tomorrow. Obviously PA tonight. And then in 4A, you're going to have Shiloh Christian, who's in a dogfight with Arkadelphia. Shiloh just scored. They have a 1-point lead, 42-41. And they're in the 4th quarter.
Harding
3A.
Academy in 3A. And I guess
Fordyce in 2A.
And Mountain Pine won the unofficial 8-man championship last year. They were in the finals last night, but couldn't defend, and I'm using the air quotes there, even though last year wasn't a sanctioned sporting event. They did win a title.
Martinez, quick pass out. He finds his receiver, Caleb Taylor. Now, the new point system is going to be coming into play, but that point system won't be into play for the public schools, like a Fordyce or Greenwood in 6A or Bryant in 7A. Even though they're repeating and winning numerous titles, it's just
if you're Bryant, if you move up, they just move you to Texas.
8A?
Yeah, they just move you to Texas.
I got you.
You can go play down there.
Martinez under pressure, throws it up, and he gets his receiver, makes a move, and that's Jackson for you. And Jackson is going to be, they're going to say he's down?
Yep. The ball came out after he hit the curve. Yeah. But, yeah, you're exactly right. It's the Harding Academy, Pulaski Academy, Shiloh Christian all moving up a class next year. So PA, along with Little Rock Christian, going to be in 6A to compete with the likes of the Greenwoods and the El Dorados of the world.
Ooh, that may have been coming out. I'll tell you what, on that replay, he was kind of PA called a timeout. I wonder if Coach Lucas is going to challenge this.
That's how a challenge works here at the high school level. You call timeout and you tell the officials, hey, I want you to challenge that, and they may be taking another look at it.
I thought we both thought that he was down when the ball came out, and on that last replay, I just happened to look and was watching the replay, and I think that ball was out. Let's see if we can take another look at it. And Coach Lucas knows if that's the case, I mean, it's pretty much over, but this would be the nail in it. That's what we could not hear him, but PA has asked for the review. So they're going to go and talk to the guys in the booth, and they're going to take a look at it, and we'll see. Here's a look at the replay. Martinez under pressure. This is the second time. That time it's Romello Bell putting all kinds of pressure on him.
It's clearly a catch. I mean, he takes several steps, so that's not the question.
And it's when he's going down right here, they dive in from behind, bam.
Yeah.
And it comes out.
You got it. I think that ball is out. Now, was there a clear recovery? Because the official kind of pointed to the ground. It does look like PA does jump on the football there. You can see the official there. He points to the ground, but so that should be a fumble and a recovery.
That's Hunt Harrison that causes the fumble. You'll see Harrison, number 9, come in, and looks like helmet on ball, knocks it loose.
There was a fumble on the play, recovered by Pulaski Academy. First down.
And Coach Lucas uses the challenge, and it pays off. And the Bruins celebrate on the sideline with the turnover.
Likely does it.
Bruins will take over at the 16-yard line. 4 minutes and 22 seconds.
As we were talking before that fumble, though, Wes, just because of the new competition rule, private schools, if you accumulate so many points over a 4-year span, you're going to automatically move up. And it's going to vary from sport to sport, so your football is not going to affect your basketball, and et cetera. But Pulaski Academy has been successful enough. They're going to move to 6A, along with Little Rock Christian, who have also been successful enough. Now you got Greenwood, El Dorado, Lake Hamilton, who was in the finals last year. Yeah, 6A just became Murderer's Row.
Pfizer cap at that time, and yeah, quickly got down. There wasn't anything there, and Pfizer wisely, no need to take another lick at this point in the season. And he goes down. So clock runs, though.
Yeah, so Shiloh Christian will move up to 5A. They'll join the 5A West. Harding Academy is going to move up to 4A. So all the teams we talked about are have a chance to repeat this weekend. We'll be moving up a classification. But also with that rule, Wes, and what I like about it is if you're one of those schools that with the multiplier and you have to move up, as Hyman breaks free again.
Look at Hyman go down, inbounds. He got what he could. That was a big game for Joe. Just a quick little pass. He had so much of a cushion in the slot. Pfizer just takes a snap, throws it quickly to Joe. He makes one guy miss, and he's off to the races.
To finish that thought, though, if you're a school that doesn't have, say, much success, you're actually going to get to play and move down. You have the potential to move down as a private school. So I'll just use Subiaco Academy as an example. They've had to play up in 4A 11-man football for a long time and weren't competitive. We'll be honest about that. So now they've got a chance to play in a classification that they might be able to be competitive in.
Barker goes in motion. They're going to give it to Hyman. He's going over the far side. He's got room to run. Hyman across the 40 to the 35. Also, I think you see a tired defense from Whitehall. They've been running, been on the field a lot tonight, chasing these Bruins, and all of a sudden, Hyman's speed is able to get outside.
It's tough to finish these games emotionally when you hit a point, when you're down, and you realize there's not a chance for you to come back. It's tough emotionally to finish the game.
Give it everything you got. And you empty the tank, and that tank just may be empty. It's a very similar play we just saw a few minutes ago. Hyman's out of the game, but they bring in their sophomore backup, Kenny Jordan, and Jordan makes the catch, gets forward for about 7 yards. It's almost like a run play. Yeah. I mean, it's just such a short pass to that receiver in the slot. Yeah. You're going to complete it, and then you pick up 5, 6, 7 yards. Or if you make a guy miss, you can get a lot more like Hyman did.
It's not your typical RPO, which you're faking the run in the backfield. That's either quarterback sweep or just a quick pitch off, depending on what that outside linebacker does. If he comes up, you pitch it off. If he stays back, you keep it as a quarterback.
Pfizer hands it off. It's Kenny Jordan again. Jordan picks up the first down. They'll move the chain, stop the clock briefly, but we're at 2 minutes and 18 seconds.
You want a copy of this state championship game or any of them from this weekend or next, just go to mnmproductions.net. You can place your order. Take a look at the score from around the state. Shiloh Christian facing a 4th and goal at the 1. And looks like they just punched it in. Extra point away, about to take a 49-48 lead over Arkadelphia. About 6 minutes left. So the Saints, again, trying to get back here to Little Rock. Joe T. Robinson.
Another dump off pass. Down to Hyman. Looked like Hyman. No, that's McKinney. Got something important happening on about the 40-yard line on the sideline. That's the
bucket watch.
Yep, they're getting the Gatorade bucket ready. See some of the ball boys over there for Pulaski Academy. They're filling up some of the Gatorade. They got about 1:10 left, and they'll be dumping Coach Lucas for the first time as a head coach. One minute to go. Pfizer completes stop. I thought he completed. He threw it behind his receiver. It was cutting into open area. I see Coach Lucas there. He wasn't happy.
So this is where he's a rookie. He's not used to getting that head on a swivel and looking for the ice bucket this time. His predecessor, Kevin Kelly, knew it was coming, and he also welcomed it.
It's coming. They're on the 45, walking his way.
They're smart.
They got to wait a couple more plays.
They got the lid on it right now, so he's safe for another play or two.
3rd and 4. I'm going to hand this one off. Hyman gets outside. He's got the first down and more. There's a great finish to Joe Hyman's great career. He gets him another touchdown. PA goes over the 50 mark. Hyman, the Northwestern commit, one of the top players in the state of Arkansas, no matter what classification, finishes it off. A little icing on the cake.
It is fitting, his last touch in his high school career goes for a touchdown. And I don't have the career numbers in front of me, but I'm imagining that's probably close to 100 career touchdowns for Joe Hyman, if not 120. I mean, he's put in the end zone from running the football as a receiver. He's kind of done it all for Pulaski Academy the last few seasons.
8 plays, 84 yards. Hyman finishes it off with the 19-yard score. Hyman now has 151 yards rushing on the night. That's his second touchdown. Charlie Pfizer, 67 yards rushing. He also had 2 touchdowns rushing. And then Jalen McKinney, 5 catches, 134 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns, including the 80-yarder. That was kind of the end of it.
That's icing on the cake. Pulaski Academy's farewell tour to Class 5A. 7th state championship in 8 years. I mean, this is a dominant run that we haven't seen, Wes, in modern football at least. I mean, it's amazing what they've been able to do. It's the 3rd largest classification through the years. Little Rock Christian's been in that same category with them, but they've been in a class of their own. Pulaski Academy, I'm talking about, above everybody else, and they're going to give a fond farewell with the 51-point effort and another championship. Moving about 6 miles from here. And going from Little Rock War Memorial to Pulaski Academy, just a few miles down the road.
Think about the pressure, too. That was on this coaching staff, not just Coach Lucas, but the entire staff. You lose a legend like Kevin Kelly, and those are huge shoes to fill. And they still expect to win state championships, even though Kevin Kelly's not there.
Yeah, and I talked about this a little bit last night with Strong, who came into the game expected to win. There's a lot of pressure on you that most people won't think is like, oh, you can play easy as you're the favorite. No, there's a target on your back every time PA steps on the field, and every time against an Arkansas opponent tonight or this season, they were able to answer the call. They've been tested a few times, played in a few more close contests than they're probably used to, especially in the playoffs, but they found a way to get it done, and you just have to tip the cap. Sure, 51 points is impressive, but defensively to hold Whitehall to 283 and really, more importantly, just 81 yards on the ground for the Bulldogs, and that front 5 or 6 for PA deserves a lot of the credit for the success tonight.
You mentioned it earlier, but it happens every year. PA's defense gets overlooked because of what the offense does. Joe Hyman, the passing from Pfizer, the catches from Barker and McKinney. I mean, that's what you hear about all the time, but this defense continues to get it done, holding Whitehall to 19 points.
I mean, it's impressive what they've been able to do consistently. I mean, of course, with modern football, everybody talks about the offense, but the defense, again, for PA shows up in the biggest moment.
Guys, you may want to get on Coach Lucas. The ice bath is coming.
It's coming, and he's running.
Coach Lucas is celebrating with the fans, the students there from PA, and here comes the ice bath. Coach Lucas is running out to meet Coach Bolding, but now they got him.
And I got this tidbit from Walter Woody earlier tonight, so got to give him credit. But with the win tonight, Anthony Lucas is the first African-American head coach to win a state title in Arkansas since Lee Hardman did it at Pine Bluff Dollarway way back in 1992. That's hard to believe.
That's stunning. If it wouldn't have been from Walter, I would have been like, are you sure about that? And I know he knows.
Says they're the only to win it. Only two to win it. That's amazing. But kudos to Coach Anthony Lucas and his Bruins. They earned every bit of it tonight.
See Coach Lucas talking with the Bulldogs players, giving them their due respect because they did something that hadn't been done in Whitehall in a long time, and that's make it to the state championship game. We got more celebration. We'll hear from Coach Lucas. Stick around. This is the Centennial Bank State Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
During the past year, we've been traversing the natural state with our cinematic drone, from lakes and rivers, waterfalls, scenic byways, mountains, swamps, overlooks, and towering rock formations. This unique documentation of all four seasons from all four corners of the state with an aerial cinematic perspective will give you, the viewer, an Arkansas adventure like never before.
Here we go, the energy.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Riggs Rents, Arkansas's rental equipment provider, from aerial lifts to dirt moving machines and everything in between. Our family-owned and operated business takes pride in serving our employees and customers. Riggs Rents, a proud supporter of Arkansas PBS Sports.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackelford.
Back at War Memorial Stadium, the PA Bruins, the 5A state champions. Good look at Anthony Lucas winning his first title as a head coach.
So who does the MVP trophy go to, Wes? You've got Charlie Pfizer, the quarterback, throws for 386, 3 touchdowns, didn't turn the football over. Of course, you got Joe Hyman, 2 catches, 33 yards, 151 yards rushing, 2 scores. I think the Pfizer 2 touchdown runs may tip the balance to the quarterback.
I've been the president of the Joe Hyman fan club for 2 years now, and so it's hard for me not to give him the award. But I tell you what, Charlie Pfizer played a heck of a game with 386 yards passing, 3 touchdowns through the air, 2 rushing, as you said, 5 total touchdowns. It'd be hard not to give it to him.
Yep, I think Hyman makes the offense go. He demands so much attention. He makes life a little bit easier for everybody else. But, when the quarterback puts up 5 total touchdowns and 440 yards or so of total offense, it's hard not to say, hey, you're the 5A state championship game MVP. Getting ready as the Whitehall Bulldogs get their runner-up trophy, and the guys in baby blue will have to take that title home for the 7th time in 8 years.
And for the final time, at least for a while, in 5A.
At least 4 years they're going to be in 6A, and You got to believe they're going to compete at that level too. I mean, it's the difference is there in between 5 and 6A, but it's Pulaski Academy is good enough to compete at the next level.
You see how many times PA's been at the state championship game when as soon as the game was over,
they know what to do.
Grabbed the benches and brought them out onto the field because they knew they were going to need those benches to sit on to take a trophy. They'll need to stand on those benches. So they've been here. They've done that. You know, you talk about so many times about the experience in the championship game and what it means, but it also means something for the post-game celebration because they effectively, I mean, as soon as it hit 0, there was a group of kids that grabbed those benches and pulled them out onto the field.
What you do as a coach when you're really prepared, you prepare for everything. Pre-game, how you load the bus, and in Pulaski Academy's case, you prepare to celebrate. And that's exactly what they did. They've done it a lot when conference championships, and you see Coach Lucas there right there in the middle with the banner. You know, and they've capped off another impressive season, and can do nothing but tip the cap as they did what they were supposed to, and they came out and won another title.
Well, the Bruins get it done, and they go undefeated in the state of Arkansas within the borders. They lost outside the state, but they are the class of 5A once again. And the Bruins will celebrate another title for another year.
There is Charlie Pfizer, your MVP, 386 and 3 touchdowns through the air, 67 rushing, 2 more scores. And he caps it off with a little hardware of his own to take home. And just an impressive performance, offense, defense, special teams. They did it all, and that's why they're on the winning end.
Well, we're just getting started here at War Memorial Stadium. It'll be a long day tomorrow, but a great day. The 6A State Championship, El Dorado and Greenwood at noon. And then, of course, tomorrow night, 6:30 start, Bryant in Fayetteville.
If the weather's good tomorrow night, Wes, I don't know. I haven't checked the forecast. I don't like to jinx it. If it's good, I would not be shocked to see 30,000 show up for Bryant Fayetteville.
Really?
Yeah. I think the state has been ready to see Bryant play the conference champion from the West for 4 years now. During this whole run, it's always been a team from their own conference. I think they're ready to see that clash of the Fayetteville, was the dominant team, along with Bentonville in the mid-2000s, the 2010s, and now this new start dynasty that Buck James has got at Bryant.
Bobby, you came down from Fayetteville in the northwest Arkansas area. They may be following you down tomorrow, and we know Bryant, just down the road in Saline County, they're going to have a bunch of fans here too. So it could be an electric atmosphere, but if you can't make it out to the stadium tomorrow night, we encourage you to watch us right here on Arkansas PBS Sports. That's going to do it for tonight. First one was fun. Bruins get it done again. For Bobby Swafford, I'm Wes Moore. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow.